points in the first two. They had already qualified. So he got the chance to play in that competition. And Fifi Bansin tells us a very interesting story of Stephen Appiah playing in that game. Now, for those who, if you know your geography, Ecuador is a high altitude place.
Yeah.
And so, according to Fifi Bansin, who covered that competition, Stephen Appiah. So Appiah was begging to play. So Fifi Bansin says he and some other guys went to plead with the coach, and Appiah got minutes. And then as the game was going on, because of the high altitude, Appiah started bleeding from the nose. And some of the players were telling Coach Ade that Charlie Appiah is bleeding from the nose. And according to Fifi Bansin, he said, Coach Ade said, and your baby will park in this. Maybe we need to get Fifi Bansin to narrate that story. So Ghana made it out of the group.
Let's go, Fifi. Let's go. Fifi.
Yeah,
Part of the story.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get Fifi Bansin to narrate. We want to hear his. He was with the team. Want to hear his perspective of the 95 under 17 team, right? And then Ghana qualified to the quarterfinals, right? The knockout stage. Okay, so yeah, quarters. So Ghana beat Portugal by 2-0 in that game. Mano Bento and Nanata Kraminiampon scored in that game. So Ghana progressed to the semi-finals. And they met Oman. Surprise, surprise. Oman made it to the semi-finals of that year's Under 17 World Cup. Mm-hmm. They made it to the Under 17 World Cup semi-final. And then Ghana beat Oman by 3-1. I remember a distinct thing about that game. Oman had a knack in that competition. They had a knack for scoring in football, what we call the Olympico. Scoring direct from a corner kick. They would bend the ball into the, and that's how they scored. Yes, corner to goal, as we call it. By the football, they call it the Olympico. So they scored one against Ghana. They had been doing that in previous games, and then they managed to score one against Ghana to make it 3-1. So Joe Ansah, Kamara Dini, and Abu Idrisu scored in those games, or in that game, to give Ghana a 3-1 win to meet the almighty Brazil in the final. The final was played on the 20th of August 1995, right, at the Estadio Monumental. That was in Guayaquil. And then Ghana won by 3-2. Mm-hmm. Ghana won by 3-2. So Baba Sule put Ghana in the lead after 39 minutes. And then Abu Idrisu scored after 45. I remember Abu Idrisu's goal. It was a long ranger. Mm-hmm. Long ranger. Blasted it from long range to beat the Brazilian goalkeeper. And then Juan made it 2-1. Right? It was a scramble from a corner kick, and then he scored. And then in the 49th minute, Emmanuel Bento made it 3-1 to Ghana at the time. And then Marco Antonio scored in the 90th minute to make it 3-2 to Brazil. And that was that. And that's how come Ghana won the Under 17 World Cup in 1995. As I said earlier, for those who are interested, if you go to YouTube, you find a video of that game between Ghana and Brazil. It's a 2.5-minute video there. And you can go and enjoy you can go and enjoy that game, the 2-minute highlight of that final between Ghana and Ecuador. Emmanuel Bento, Baba Sule is credited as scoring the first goal there, and then Abu Idrisu scored the second one from range. It was an absolute tamper from range to give Ghana a 2-0 lead, and then later on they made it 3-1, and then the Brazilians pulled one back and all of that. So if you're listening to us and you remember the 95 Under 17 World Cup, you can send me a text message, right? You can send me a text message. Or maybe you can even take calls for those who remember. You can give us a call. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. If you remember the Black Starlets winning the World Cup in 95, send me a message. I'd love to hear from you.
So
I'd love to. Yes, Ray.
At that tournament, there was one player who was doing a lot of tricks on the pitch.
Yes.
Audu Isaka.
The disco dancer.
Yeah. He was the main man.
He was.
He was full of tricks.
Yes.
And he had quite a spectacular tournament.
You know, recently he was on the show.
Yeah, he was on Sporty Drive.
To talk a lot more about his life, how he started, from that youthful age and everything. And I think he's one of the, witty players we've ever seen. If you speak to somebody on the sidelines about players he's coached and players he loves to watch, he's one of his favorites because he tells you he will do all the necessary things and important things as well as do all the unnecessary things and the unimportant things at the same time, and he will give you the result. So he was such a player that he loved and admired to watch. And you just look at him even till now. I think on the day when he came for the interview and we did that ball juggling, you could just see the skills were evident, so he's just a talented footballer.
And then, around that time, the name on everybody's lips was Audu Saka.
Disco dancer.
Everybody was replicating his moves anytime they had a football. But Audu Saka after that tournament moved to Anderlecht.
Yeah.
And he played for their youth team before he moved to Auxerre, and then from Auxerre to 1860 Munich. Before he didn't really have a spectacular career out there, but I think what he needed to do in that tournament to catch the eye of the scouts and some of the European teams he did, and I think that he was one of those players. And at that tournament, I think Ghana had a defender, Amaniampo.
Nanata Kraminiampo.
Yeah, very very solid defender.
Nanata Kraminiampo.
Yeah, very good defender. I remember that guy very well. So what happened to Amaniampo?
After that, they moved on to different things. They didn't really have spectacular careers.
Yeah.
Really, it was only Stephen Appiah.
Yeah, a lot of players in that squad.
A lot of them.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
It was only Stephen Appiah who had a big time career after that. Even on the Brazilian side, do you know who was Brazil's goalkeeper in that tournament? If I tell you, you'd be very surprised.
Who was that?
The great Julio Cesar.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Of Inter Milan many years later.
Yeah, and it actually took him a while before he got into the frame. Yeah.
And then
it took a while.
Joan also of Brazil.
That
He's
defender.
currently the defender, currently assistant under Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah.
And then one-time player of Liverpool, Fabio Aurelio.
Oh, okay.
Fabio Aurelio played in that competition, right? He played in that competition. So
I think it was about following the development path of these players. I think we let them go. Someone like Bento, let's not forget he got into Bayern Munich at the very early stage.
He and Christian Saba, but they didn't make appearances for the senior
exactly.
team.
So
a lot of them played for the reserve.
Yes, so it was. I think it was all at that time. If you have someone like Effenberg in that team, how are you expecting Bento to just ride through Saba like this? That Bayern Munich team, they had too much quality. So if you listen to Sami Kofo when he went, and I think it was also about the mentality and the resilience of a player, how you want to play and give.
Yes.
So if you listen to Kofo when he went, it was quite difficult for him, but you just had to prove and play 200%. If the German is playing 60% to get into the team, you were going to play 200%. And let's not forget, those times, the racial differences was very much high. And that discrimination for you to even, as a black, to even walk into the team was quite difficult. So he just had to adjust and give 200%. So even for Kofo, he didn't start playing for Bayern as centre back. He was playing on the right hand side of defense because Charlie, you won't play. So he said it was, I think, 1 or 2 tackles on Lothar Matthäus at training, and then Matthäus was like, "Come on, this gentleman, just look at his movement on the pitch and all that. He's one for us. He's one for the future."
Even Kofo later on in his Bayern Munich career, there were times when he played as a right back. I remember Man United and Bayern Munich played a game at Old Trafford. So this was like a year or two after the 99 final. I remember that season, the season I'm talking about, Bayern Munich won those 2 group games over Man United. Kofo played at right back.
Yeah.
Right? And as you said, even further back, when he even played at right, I remember there was a particular Champions League game, and I don't know if Sami Kofo remembers, right? I don't know if Sami Kofo remembers. There was a game Bayern Munich played against Ajax. And guess who was guess the winger he played against that day? Mark Overmars. It was
and he mentioned
it was a horrendous night.
If you go back to listen to the story I did on him or the interview I had with him, when you ask him about the most difficult player, he says Mark Overmars. He says he's not the tallest of players, He's not extremely fast, but he's too intelligent that you can't get the ball off him easily, because 1-2 passes and he's making that move that prevents you from having anything on that. So at that time, just like I said, Saba and Bento were not going to walk into that team easily. So even talking about Kofo, he did not go to Bayern straight away. Remember, he went to Torino. So with that, you have some level of appreciation, because come on, this player is coming, he played for Torino, so at least let's move him. And that was when everything started going smoothly for him.
Okay, I'm coming. Before you do, I need to make this quick technical announcement. It's a very important one. So for our listeners, we'll be going off air on conventional radio. There's a technical challenge that needs to be fixed. However, we'll be live on all our social media channels, so you can watch us on Facebook, right, at Sporty FM, Instagram and X. You can listen on Instagram. I think you can listen in on X and Instagram. YouTube. Sporty FM _ YouTube. We are there, and also on multi TV audio channel 0065. So you won't hear us on conventional radio. Apologies, we are fixing a technical challenge, but you can listen to us live on all our social media channels. Tune in there, watch or listen, and drop your comments. And you can also listen to us on the multi-TV audio channel 0065. Ray, you were making a point, and then I say one or two things.
After that tournament,
yes,
a lot of changes had to be introduced in terms of that age bracket. Okay. Now, if you pay attention to the Black Starlets, almost every player in that squad ended his career. Let them pay attention to this. Ended his career around 2010-2011.
Okay.
2010-2011, at most 2012. Some even had their careers end around 2008-2009 thereabout. Okay. But you remember Argentina's captain in that tournament?
Argentina's captain?
Pablo Aimar,
yes.
At that tournament, Pablo Aimar was 15.
Sporty FM.
Pablo Aimar played and stopped playing football in 2018.
Do you know another member of the Argentine team? Esteban Cambiaso.
Yes. So Nathan,
and there was another player, Aldo Duce. I remember he played for Deportivo.
Just look at the length of their careers. Okay, Esteban Cambiaso. At a point, he won the Champions League with Inter.
Yes. And then won the Premier League with Leicester.
So just stretch it a bit. So that was in 2016 when Leicester won the league.
Yes.
Okay. Just stretch it forward, and then look at how early our players ended their careers, and how far some of these players took their careers.
And if you look at even some of the other teams, for example, Japan had the likes of Junichi Inamoto, who came to play in the Premier League. Come of Arsenal, right? Junichi Inamoto. Shinji Ono. So Arsenal and Fulham, I think. Shinji Ono was also in that team. Now Hiro Takahara. I remember him.
Yes.
But some of the Argentines also ended their careers very early.
But
true. Apia went to 2015.
Most of our
Apia went to 2015.
No, Apia.
Yes. He retired in 2015.
Apia around 2012.
2015.
Oh, really? But
yes.
Apia, we'll get back to Apia.
2015. Maybe he left the national team earlier, maybe after the 2010 World 2012.
Just pay attention to how, because we failed to produce, to send players with the right ages to that tournament, their careers had to end early. No, so you do the analysis. Okay.
What makes you think the Argentines did not send wrong?
I'm giving you a few examples.
Okay.
I'm giving you a few examples. Okay, a few examples.
Give me examples.
A few examples. Cambiaso, Aimar.
But those are just Aldo Duce. Those are just two or three from a squad of 21.
Three.
The Nigerians who played in that team, in that tournament, not a single one of them
had a career worthy
of me. You understand what I'm saying? You see, we found a way to beat the system. Look, Stephen Appiah, the time Stephen Appiah finished playing international football, his last club was what? Vojvodina.
Vojvodina.
That's in 2012. When Stephen Appiah was on the bench in that tournament, he was 14.
Very young.
I'm just telling you that there's a 5 to 6 years difference between most of the players who play for some of the teams we are talking about today and our squad. Let them do the maths. 5 to 6 years gap, paying attention to how far their careers traveled.
But you know, Ray, it's not really an exact science.
Nathan, don't run away from this matter.
But talk about notable names. Just to add 2 more notable names. Brett Emerton. I don't know how many people remember Brett Emerton.
Yeah, Emerton
Played for Blackburn at a point, and then ex-Leeds United and Liverpool winger. Can you guess who? Leeds United, Liverpool, left-footed winger.
Kewell.
Harry Kewell. Brilliant. Harry Kewell played in that competition. On the Spanish side, they had a player called Mister, played for Valencia many years as a striker.
Yeah.
So you see, I remember.
You see, Nathan, when you look through the squad, you realize that, look, Harry Kewell, Kewell played for a very long time before ending his career. And I'm saying now, look, all those things we did that time, our aim was just to win the tournament. We never really bothered about proper progression, how to move these players.
Are you sure?
We're not really interested in, seeing these boys move from.
But a few of them moved on to play for the under-20s.
Yeah.
So the 97 under-20 tournament in Malaysia like this, you had 1 or 2 guys there.
So, Nathan, I'm saying that, look, this tournament we won, yes, but we had the benefit of.
We had the benefit of what?
So your goalkeeper, Julio Cesar.
Julio Cesar, yeah.
He ended his playing career in 2018. I'm just telling you, Nathan, you see, it's natural. There's a natural process. When you start and when you are expected to end your career. Okay. A lot of our players, we're expecting them, because of the ages they brought, to possibly end their careers just around the same time some of these players ended their careers. But they ended it way very early. And we are saying, why? Because they had lots of potential. They had lots of quality. But it got to a point their legs could not carry them anymore.
Sporty.
Yeah,
but that was so early in their career. When we were expecting them to be playing at the peak of their careers, they just died out. Only God knows how we assembled our squad and how most of these players qualified to play under 17. Thank God today it's MRI. Even if you are more than the age, because you know there's a certain MRI, psychologically you will not present overage players. Right? Yes. So it's brought sanity in that space. Ever since MRI came, show me our starlets.
Oh, but they went.
Nathan,
they went to the 20.
Show me our starlets.
2017 one.
Show me
the
our
one
starlets.
in India.
Nathan, show me our starlets.
I don't quite get your point.
We won, yes, but not without certain elements.
Oh, Ray.
I've done the analysis for you. No. I've given you 5 players. If I've not given you, I'll give you 5 players.
How do you mean not
5 players who were under 17?
Certain elements.
I remember you remember when we went to under 20? Tony Cruz.
Under 17. Korea, 2007.
Under 20, the one we. Okay.
No, which one? You are confusing the two.
Under 20.
Ransford or sales people.
Under 17 under 2007. In Korea.
Under 17 in 2007. Under 20 in 2009.
No.
What is no? If they were the same group who progressed to win the World Cup at under 20 level.
Okay, good. So at the time, Obi Miguel and Tony Cruz won the player of the tournament.
No. That was under 20. That was under 20.
See,
that was under 20.
So 2007,
yes.
The tournament was played in Korea.
Yes.
Ghana met Germany twice. Cruz was captain of the German team.
Good.
Yes.
And he was best player in that tournament.
Yes.
He was one of them.
Yes.
And there was a Ghanaian player there. And there was a Nigerian player as well.
So you mean Chrysanthus
Macaulay?
Yes, Chrysanthus Macaulay.
Chrysanthus, he didn't make it.
Chrysanthus,
there was a Ghanaian player in there too.
Okay, so I think what you are
the 2007. Okay,
he's mixing. Okay.
He's mixing the 2007 because it's the same team that made
2007. Okay, so 2007. You want Ghana's squad?
Yes, give me that squad.
Let me give you Ghana's squad. 2007. The 2007 under 17.
Yes, give me that squad.
World Cup. Hold on.
Sadiq Adams and the rest.
Good. So the 2007. 2007. So you had Joseph Ado, Abdoulaye Seydou, Paul Ado, Daniel Opare,
Yes, Opare.
Francis Boedi, Tete Norte, Abeku Kwanzaa,
Abeku
Kofi Edu, Sadiq Adams, Transfer Dose, Ishmael Yati,
Yes.
Philip Boampong, Mesuna Alasan, Isaac Donko, Eric Opoku, Baba Sampana, Richard Impong, Kelvin Bosman. I remember he was the Boga star.
Yeah.
Abdul Alasan, Prince Jima, and Robert Dabo.
Yes.
So this is
that was
2007.
That was the 2017 squad.
No, 2007.
2007, sorry.
Yes.
2007 squad.
Yes. So that was the tournament where Ghana lost to Spain. The Spain team had Akwe in the west of Ransford, or say Akwe and who 3. The Barca player. Bohan Kerkic.
Yes. So you see, Nathan, all these boys, especially Ransford, we saw how their careers just died out.
Ransford is not injury. I know Ransford suffered some injury issues here and there.
And then we came to under 20.
So which year?
After that tournament, 2009.
2009, under 20.
That was the tournament we won.
That was the one we won in Egypt.
And there was a striker. There was a striker in that squad.
Yes.
Is this
Dominic Dia.
As for Adia and Code, as for them, we know how their careers went. Wrong decision after that tournament. So, but there was another player.
So you are talking about the under 20.
Yes, under 20.
2009, under 20.
Yes, there was another striker.
2009.
Yeah, under 20 years.
Prolific striker.
We took
Edia, Ransford. It was Dominic Edia.
It was Dominic Edia and Ransford. Then Dede was part of the team.
Jonathan Mensah.
I'm looking for this striker.
Abeku Kwanzaa. Give us the squad for that under 20. 2009. Yes, in Egypt where we won the World Cup.
I'm going to bring that striker.
Because it was our lead marksmen were Edia
and Ransford.
So Ransford at under 17 level was devastating, but under 20
and by the time
under 20, Dominic took over. The reason why Dominic made that move to AC Milan just after the tournament and then couldn't survive. Ransford also made moves, but unfortunately,
the striker I'm looking for, I found him.
What's his name?
No, so he was not part of that squad.
Which striker is that?
So that was Ebenezer Esifwa.
Esifwa was later.
2013.
Esifwa was later.
So the 2013 U20 had people like Clifford Abuaje.
Clifford and Esifwa and the likes.
That was the Tema Youth dominated squad. Moses Oje. And then that was Paul Pogba's year.
True. The striker I was looking for, I found him.
Esifwa. So Esifwa wasn't there.
Esifwa then he wasn't there.
After under 20, he went to Switzerland and then.
Yeah, that was it. I think it's about the career decisions. Even Edia, Opare. See, Opare went to Real Madrid Castilla. And many were thinking, come on, this is a player who was going to. So don't forget that Sadiq played with David De Gea and then Fernando Torres at Atletico. Also, bad decisions on, documentation.
Yes.
Also got him exactly.
He was banned for 2 contracts. Yes.
You know, so it was actually a quite disappointing. Edu Kofi, one of the, he couldn't make that under 20 team, you know, like to play Ishmael Yati. Edu Kofi went, but Yati didn't make it.
07.
Yes, but Edu Kofi has had at least a decent career in the Scandinavia world, Sweden, Denmark. He's been moving, Yate, in and out.
I remember Yati played in Korea. It was the under 20 that Yati didn't go.
Yes.
I remember.
Yes, he played at under 17. So by under 20, Andre was there. Andre made that move. Samuel Inkum.
So let me take you through the squad for the 2009 under 20. Daniel Ej, Liberty at the time. Samuel Inkum, Gladson Awako, Jonathan Mensah, Daniel Ado, David Adi, Abeku Kwanzaa.
Daniel Ado was our best defender. He was fantastic. What? Daniel Ado. Okay.
So Daniel Ado, David Adi, Abeku Kwanzaa.
David Adi, the left back.
Yes.
That slim boy.
Ajiman Bedu, Mupoko Ajiman, Andre Ayew, Latif Salifu, Gandhi Kasenu, Mohamed Rabiu. I remember Rabiu played.
Yeah, Rabiu, yeah.
Daniel Opare, Philip Boampong, Robert Dabo, John Benson, Ransford Osei, Bright Adai, Dominica Dia, and Joseph Ado. Joseph Ado was the other goalkeeper.
Yeah, so you see, I think quite a number of them got some decent careers. Talking about Jaman Bedru, Rabiu too had to cut short his career because of injuries.
Yes.
You know, Andre was stopped there. We know Andre has actually roamed across France, and he's played lots of very good football in England, Swansea, West Ham United. Talk about Jamal, like I said, Jonathan Mensah has had a very decent, a decent career for the Black Stars, and then for himself in Italy, and then France before he moved to the United States. I think it's about the decision making. that you get to see players at certain points and you identify, is this player going to stay at this top level without any proper development? Because if you move him to AC Milan, he's expected to quickly make that move to a top team. There's a reason why I look at Felix Afneja now. Second tier in where? Turkey. How does it get to this point? Second tier level in Turkey. This is a player who was disturbing the likes of Trustekong and the likes during the World Cup qualifiers.
Yep.
But where is he now? Career path. Who makes the decisions? Who chooses, the class for them? I think it's a bit problematic. Maybe I think some of our clubs or some of those who deal with players, Godfrey Akoto will tell you, for proper development paths, just send these players to the Scandinavian world. Let them get teams, Denmark, Sweden, where development, or even in Netherlands, where development is really taken as a priority. Let them mature 1 or 2 years, and then they will be good to go. So just look at the career path for the Right to Dream boys. How they manage to move, and some of the players who decide to move to Sweden.
From here, if you stay in the system, you go to North Island.
Exactly.
And then from there,
either you go to France or you move to the Netherlands, where player development is a priority. Even in Germany now, you move players there, and if the player is a bit focused, you get to know that player is going to get that level of development to rise higher. So I think it's a big problem. That is one area the PFAG, I think they should really take charge of, especially those who are in the helms. Sami Kofo, Tony Bafo, Augustin Ahemfo. All these people have played top level, and they understand that certain decisions didn't go their way and affected them before their careers ended. So why don't they guide these players? The likes of Yusuf Alas and Chipsa, all those. Because when Chipsa moved from Kotoko, that was it. Ask yourself. That was the end. I'm sure he would have even left to still stay in Kotoko, and I'm sure he would have gotten Black Star shots better than when he made the move. So I just hope the likes of Brahim Tanko and the likes, they know what happens top there, at that top level football. So maybe they can guide the career path of these players and at least help us so that going forward we would have players who would understand. But now even the national team, when they pick players under 17, I think the priority has been on winning. Development isn't the focus. Because if we are looking at talent development and the future, some players who play at under 17, under 15 won't be even picked, because we look at players who have the potential to develop and go through series of changes. Just like we saw the likes of John Mensah, Steven Appiah, Lai Kinson, Suleiman Muntari walk through the various ranks of football. From under 15, under 17, under 20, the Meteors, the Black Stars. But now it's not the case. We get players in there and they think they are top level, and that should be it. The last time I was talking about Jerry Free, many thoughts, but I just hope that he would keep his focus and then give us something. I don't know who is managing him, but if he has a very good manager, that boy should be, someone that if he plays for the Black Stars, we should look at the future. That come on, this is a guy. Look at how Spain have been monitoring the progress of Lamine Yamal and how to even use him together with Nico Williams. Look at how Bukayo Saka was given that attention when he was 17, 18, and that's now they had their eyes on him to bring him up to this level. Even Eddie Nketiah, the reason why he doesn't want to play for the Black Stars is all because the kind of attention that was given him when he was younger, and he was captaining and scoring and taking, the England youth sides on his shoulders. Because at youth level, Nketiah is devastated. He was devastating.
Yeah, that's true.
He was scoring, freely. But he got to senior level and, things happened because of certain moves and all that. But at least they gave him that development path. And you can understand, if you get to that level and the strikers like Harry Kane is leading the attack, there is no way you get a shot. Unless you are a stubborn Thierry Henry who would dispatch the likes of Givash and others. And even with that, ask yourself, if Eric Cantona, David Ginola, have been selected by.
There was no way.
There was no
Thierry
way.
Henry and Trezeguet would get into the 98
They wouldn't have made it. It would just be those players who would have made it. But decision making, and I think it's also about our coaches. How do they guide these players? Look at how Claude Leroy made an instant statement. Andre Ayew is going to be in the 2008 AFCON squad. By 2009, he had that experience, led the team, and that was it. Look at how Salasete told. Was it Salasete? He told Daniel Pare when he started flaunting. But he benched him, and he brought someone Inkum.
Bring Inkum.
Inkum should come and play.
You make a point about Andre Ayew. One part of his career that a lot of people sometimes overlook was the decision to go on loan at Evian.
Yeah.
It was a brilliant decision because it allowed him time to play and develop.
Yeah.
So as of the time he came down to play in the under-20 AFCON and in the under-20 World Cup, he was playing at Evian. So by the time he went back on loan, all these experiences had prepared him for the pressure of Olympic Marseille. And Marseille is a big club.
Yeah.
The pressure of playing for the club, plus you are Abedi Pele's son.
Yeah.
2 times the pressure. But gradually they eased him in from the bench, getting minutes, small, until he became a mainstay. So for a lot of our young players, Kelvin is absolutely right, and Raymond too. The decisions you make, especially when you blow up at an age-restricted tournament, you have to be very careful. One wrong move and that's it. One wrong move and your career fizzles out. Nobody hears from you. Right? Yeah. I mean, the stories are plenty. Emmanuel Bento going to Bayern Munich didn't really work out. Christian Saba stayed there for his entire career. Yeah. He's now working as an official for the youth team. But the story of what could have been rubbing shoulders with the bigger boys at Bayern Munich. Exactly. But granted, at least he managed to carve something out of his life. Look at Sami Kufuor's decision from King Faisal to a U17 to Torino and then to Bayern Munich. So we have to think about the decisions players make. Yeah. And as a country, what are we doing to guide these players? Because you go and play 2, 3, 4, 5 good games at an under-17 tournament. You think you are the next big thing. You sign a contract to go play for a big club. That's it. If you are not fortunate, your career takes a nosedive. Nobody hears from you again.
No, yeah. Now look at England. They just saw Jude Bellingham made the progression. Now Job moved Sunderland, and you know these. Now look, they just the direction is go to Dortmund, where they would add lot of value instead of staying in England as Sunderland, where there will be pressure on you. Go to Dortmund, go get better development. Be in the system where you'd have that progression, and then you come. It's the reason why some of these English young boys they're not afraid to make the move.
These days you see a lot of young English players, and it's changing in England. Now, as soon as they get a break outside England, they'll take it. And I'm wondering, why are they making these moves? It's because maybe in other places they'll get the minutes, the development, and the environment will help them develop. Look at the Liverpool young boy who's gone to Lyon. France is wonderful for young players.
Exactly. More game time.
You play.
More game time, better development, because no pressure. Less pressure on you to play. And let's not forget that at younger ages, players have to express themselves until a certain point. Ask yourself how Toni Kroos all of a sudden became a controller. Those times he was playing at free will. He would just dribble you and looking for goals. But it changed all of a sudden. Even look,
because it was at Munich. Then he went to. I remember he went to Leverkusen on loan.
Leverkusen, and he came back. So I think our players should understand that when you go to certain clubs, it is not a demotion. It is only for you to get the best or the right development to advance. And hopefully, I don't know, maybe the our technical directorate, Professor Minta, and then I just hope that this football association would quickly get our national teams, development at the basic level better.
We need to, even talking about Toni Kroos, I'm just reading here. Do you know he spent 1.5 years at Leverkusen?
Yes.
18 months at Leverkusen. Playing and growing. Yeah. By the time he came back to Bayern Munich, he was ready.
Yeah, ready product.
But you see, Nathan, you again look at the situation of our players.
Yeah.
And you understand why some of them take some of the decisions they take. Because you consider economic factors as well.
Yeah.
If after an under-20 tournament I'm the best player or I'm one of the best players, AC Milan comes calling, I will not think twice about it.
Fair point.
I'll be thinking about AC Milan, their reputation, what they've won, how much they can offer me. If AC Milan came and say Silkeborg,
Ajax comes.
no, not you. I don't even want to give you a top club like Ajax. Maybe
Salzburg
I'll
comes.
give you a VVV Venlo.
Yeah,
Or
from the
maybe-
Dutch league, like
or
Go
a
Ahead
RV,
Eagles
Go Ahead
or
Eagles.
Sparta Rotterdam or some club like
Go
that.
Ahead Eagles may give me the chance, or Vitesse will give me the chance to become that player that will be recognized by maybe an Ajax or maybe a PSV.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking about AC Milan first, immediately. And I'm thinking, well, I can break into that team and possibly make it. And then everybody sees me, week in, week out, they see me playing. You know, the players will think about all of that, especially our Ghanaian players. Because where they are coming
But
from.
it's about the agents.
But you see, when you go for a player like Joe Bellingham,
Yeah.
he's obviously looking at, he's not thinking about money first. He's thinking about his development.
Yes.
And Nathan, when you send a 25-year-old boy, or a 22-year-old boy, a 24-year-old boy
Sporty FM.
to an under-20 tournament, he's not going to think like Jude Bellingham. Joe Bellingham. Straight away, he's thinking of, well, maybe in the next 5 years, I may not be playing at this level. So let me grab what I can grab. That has been the challenge.
So I think it's also about, players individual. That's why the orientation at the level, at the basic level, is very important. And I just hope that coaching education is enhanced.
Very good.
Those times when we had teachers, proper teachers, the late summer days, Afrane, Ike Dusey, or Sam Dodu, even Otia Kenteng, they will let you know that the future should be the brightest spot. It's the reason why if you listen to Emmanuel Ajimambedu, well, after the under 20, he had a very good deal. Go and play in one of the top clubs, take money. But he just realized, no, the club that I am going, I won't play. So let me come back to Asante Kotoko. 1 or 2 months after, Ajimambedu got that big move, and he made that transition. It was because he was looking, even though money, he said he thought about that, but he was thinking, if I go and sit on the bench 1-2 years, or even after 6 months, they'll tell me I'm not good enough. They will bring me back to Ghana. At that time when I come, do you think Kotoko will accept me? No. Because he's thinking about that 2008 where the likes of Jordan Opoku and the likes had even made moves to Brekum Chelsea, and it was difficult for you to walk into Kotoko. If I have joined Asante Kotoko, why then should I make a quick move? Because if I play at Kotoko and I play very well, I'm going to earn some very good money. And he decided to stay and then made that step going forward. And that was bank for him. So I think it's all about the agents and then how they speak to players to help them develop. That yes, I want this at this point, but this may not be good for you. This will be good enough for you. This and that. Look at when offers came for Kudus. Initially from Norgeland. Why did he choose Ajax? More playing time. I can rub shoulders with players in there.
And his development.
Because when I go, I can go and play and then rub shoulders with them. But that was where he made that move, and now look at him.
Do you remember?
Aminu, if Aminu had gone to, if he had decided to go to not Manchester City, but a club lower, because the standards
story-
at City, if you have a Pep Guardiola coaching you, this is the man who has seen Lionel Messi develop. He has seen other players.
This is a man who kicked out Ronaldinho and Deco.
You get
and
it?
things so.
But ladies and gentlemen, there was $1 million on the table.
$1 million.
you see,
Where was it?
Is it $1 million or pounds?
$1 million. There was a certain $1 million on the table.
Yes.
Charlie, this boy has his mother sitting, his brother sitting.
But the $1 million wasn't going to him.
No, but that is the money on the table.
But
and everybody said, look, my brother.
So it should tell you that it should tell you that at that level, the player has quality to the point that if you give him the right channel of development, in the next 2 years, he's going to be worth ×5 of that money.
And I didn't think that at the time Man City was a bad move for him, because Man City had started their project and they had young boys in there. Phil Foden and Co were there. Oscar Bobbins, Rico Lewis and Co. They were all hiding.
And that is why.
So if your man, you see,
so that is why I am saying
your
that.
Man, as for your man,
He misbehaved.
He himself.
He misbehaved all right.
Because that was the best place for him to develop.
He misbehaved all right. But do you think that terrain, Manchester City, between Manchester City and then maybe going to maybe a Norgerland or an Ajax or a Feyenoord, which one, or a PSV, which one would have given him a sense of that educational environment of development? At Manchester City, the youth development is totally different from what you see at Norgerland, what you see at PSV, what you see at Ajax.
That's true.
Because their priority is on education and gradual development. Manchester City, you look at Phil Foden there, you look at Oscar Bob, you look at Rico Lewis.
At the time, I think Jadon Sancho had left. Sancho had just gone to Dortmund.
Yes, just look at the mentality of all these players. Look at Kopama. The reason why he decided to leave Manchester City. Come on, Mason. My time is up. I need to play. So that is the mentality of the player there. Once he moved into that terrain, my time is up. I need to start playing. I need to get into under 19. I need to get into under 20 quickly. Under 21, I need to be playing. But maybe he would need some time to make that progression. But they would, instant hit. It doesn't work that way. And just like I said, the orientation at the basic level and from juvenile side, that is why I think priority should be placed on the under 15 once again. Under 12, under 15. Where the likes of Laie, John Mensah, even Jonathan played there, Samiko Four, Steven Napier, Derek, Sule, Essien, where they played. They just decided to look at Essien and Bastia. Why? Essien was well good enough to play for other big teams. Yeah. But they decided, let's go Bastia. Get more time.
When he left Liberty.
Yes, let's get more time.
So by the time Lyon came calling, Lyon couldn't have afforded. Like Essien wasn't a player you could play. Like he wasn't a big part player. By the time Essien moved to Lyon, he was hot, and he did play. He and Mamadou Dia, they were the most unstoppable midfield two in the whole of French football.
They terrorized Real Madrid.
Nathan.
So I get what you say. It's a money thing.
Look. If a player leave,
poverty is not a good thing.
My brother.
Poverty is bad.
No, you see, if you scout a player from Coates and he goes through the Right to Dream Academy model, obviously he would get all the things Kelvin is talking about.
Yes.
If you pick a boy from, say, Tots FC, the first thought is, how do we make money from this boy? How do we get this boy to sign a contract that is life-changing? That is why I feel at his age we'll be joining Katsia.
Now he's going to Belgium
For close to, I think there was 10 million involved, right?
Yes, a little close to that, yeah.
You understand? So, at this level, it is the agent, the boy, the money, the family. The decision they make would be heavily focused on money. That is why your man will leave Tots FC, go to Katsia, and then go to Lugo. Now he's gone away. So from Lugo, he's moved on. So at this point, they are expecting him to get a spark somewhere. If the spark doesn't come, no problem. Because at least they've banked something. Because they've seen lots of players with same potential, same talent, not get anywhere at all. Stay on the local league and rot. And the small coins they are earning. And then even in terms of getting recognition as one of the best players on the local scene, it doesn't even happen. So in our case, from experience, the 3% of professional players who make it out there, some of these boys look at the opportunity and say, look, I may not play football for the rest of my life, but I've seen what the likes of Ajimambedu have done. I may not be as lucky as Ajimambedu. I may not be as lucky as Dede. So let me take what is in front of me, a bird in hand. So when the opportunities come, these guys, they are not now coming to think about Mimbo and Hakakra a year, then another big team will come and scout me. No, our problem is a money problem. We have to solve that one first. So this your Aminu like this. Aminu, when they put 1 million on the table.
Aminu is coming from the same environment,
Look.
of the same style of development Kudus had.
Everybody said, wow.
Kudus is coming from Nima.
Yeah.
We go to his roots and we see what happened.
Yes, but
Why do you think he was not quick to make the move?
yes, you see.
But when he went through gradually, bang, bang, bang. Look at where he is. Talk about Ernest Nyama. Nyama in Kumasi.
Yeah.
Hey,
So that is what I'm telling you. All these boys.
Nyama in Kumasi.
Nathan.
Nana Nyama, Ernest, Asafo.
Nathan.
You know, all the big people wanted him.
Okay.
But they were like, come on, no. We are taking him, we want to take him to where he can develop properly.
Yes. So no, now look.
You get it?
Yeah.
So I think that should be the focus of the football association.
I agree
They
with
should
you,
have an interest
That's true.
in the talent.
That is true.
But you wait. Is the FA now going to write to Dream and say, we know here you have this our boy here. So when did you
see? You see, there is this problem.
Look at the model.
You talk to Giorgio Fusohine.
Yes.
Why do you think Right to Dream and then Wafa were not willing to release players? Even Accra Lions were not willing to release their players for under 17 and under 20. You know the story.
Yeah.
Because they you better play and CCA.
Yes.
The player will change his mind.
Yes.
Cheetah FC. Go and ask Dr. Ali Nya about Ken UST. Idris Tampico, his boy. You better find CCA.
Yes. So you see.
So they are not willing. So even the football, those handling our national teams at youth level are thinking about how to get this player in my possession. Instead of going to scout for his own and building and developing these players. The focus is, let me get it. That is why I said the orientation at the FA and the technical directorate should change so that we get that sort of education at our youth and juvenile levels back.
You see, Kevin has introduced another layer. When Wafa saw £1 million on the table for Aminu, why are they doing football? Tonaton is part of the model, right? Tonaton is part of the model. So when they saw the offer, the first thing they thought was, the first thing they would have thought of at the time was, this is good cash. Let's let the boy go. At that point, they don't care what happens to the boy in terms of his development and all. The same thing would happen if it were, say, a Hearts of Oak, say a Kotoko, Betiem United, Gold Stars. If they have a player who has shown a lot of promise and they feel, well, this boy is good for the international market. Any club that comes with $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, the first thing is how rich we are going to be. Do not think about what that club will be offering that boy at that level. At that point, if the boy makes the move, it's up to him. It's him and his God. If it's good enough, he gets to play. So if it's not good enough, his career could dance around any path, and then he eventually come back.
So you see, Wafa, it gets to the age when you get to, then you'd have to make the move out. Now, I mean, he's 25 years.
Yes.
At that time, he was 18. I mean, maybe 26 or 25 soon. Yeah. Yes, he's 20. He's already 25 because he 10th August, so he's 25. 10th August 2000, so he's 25 now. At that point when he was sold, at 18, it means your development path is what ended, and you sign another contract that keeps you. Now you are on a salary. At that point, his time had just ended.
Yeah.
So what was he trying to do? Wafa were trying to, gentlemen, at least we've developed you. If you want to make the move, fine. This is Manchester City. They've come. There are other clubs who have also come. But the boy was like, now, if I stay here, I want to make the move. I won't sign a contract. So what Wafa did was, let me just get this player off, have my money to continue to develop my team. So it was more like an agreement, just like the player extending his contract so that when
they can get some money.
Very good. My club can get some money from my transfer. So that was the typical situation, or that was the understanding there at that time. So it wasn't like Wafa wanted to get rid of the player because of the 1 million. Yes, 1 million is good money, but if Wafa think about sell on clause and all that, they'll be thinking, let's take our time. 1 million. They are selling players for 800,000 and all that. So 1 million, it is close by. So let me take my time. Go here, go here. You have the right development. You appreciate. In the next 2 years, if you are sold for £50 million, how much are we getting? We are going to get more than the 1 million.
Yep.
But it was just like the player doing his former club. FA, my contract has ended. Because you trained me, for you to get something, I will just extend the contract by this, and then you get the money. So trust you me, if sincerely it was about Wafa having more time on their hands for the players, they would have gotten him to a club that he would have gradually appreciated. And if we sell him for £5 million, we can get even 2. You get it?
Kevin is talking like, Kevin is sounding like he's managing a club where he already has money. So you can afford to take some of these.
No,
you understand?
Wafa is selling players for $800,000, $500,000. So the 1 million isn't money that you say they haven't seen before.
My brother.
Wafa recently sold a striker. I was talking about our 20 team. The reason why certain players couldn't work in there, and then our striking was a problem. There's this player they've sold. I think he's in Norway or Sweden. Top striker, 70-year-old boy. Other clubs were looking for him. I'm like, no. This is where we want him to go, because they know that in the next couple of years, the foreseeable future, 1, 2, 3 years, we'll get like some 3 million cool from him, instead of allowing him to go to a club where they will just
let me give you an example. House of Oak, when they bought this boy, the one who went to America and failed,
Salim.
What was the motive behind the purchase?
Salim
From when New Year Dubiasi.
Yes. Salim came. House of Oak saw an opportunity in America, so they promised to pay Dubiasi lots of money, right or wrong.
Yes.
Now they moved the boy on, expecting that the boy would go and deliver. The boy didn't deliver. He had to come back.
Yes.
House of Oak Boca. You understand?
It happens.
Yes. So because of these things, the clubs want them to go. That one risk, go. They take that one cash, go. If you go and you flourish, fine. Later on, I can get training and compensation somewhere, or onward transfer fee somewhere. But in terms of, go to this club, maybe 2-3 years time, you blow up and then you go to this club and we'll get more money. No. They don't want to take that risk. So they'll take what is on the table now and leave you to your feet.
Okay.
I have huge interest in this discussion.
Point of interest.
Yes,
Point of interest. No problem. Let's do that.
You started from the age thing to this level.
Yeah.
Because we are talking about development.
Yeah, we have to talk about the top 4 though.
Yes. So what Kevin and Ray are debating about, it makes sense a lot. You know the mentality of the clubs. If you remember, during the Dr. Keke Sapo time, that was when Tititon came, or Tonaton came, which their project started from other players. The key player we can remember was Baba Rahman. If you remember,
okay,
he was playing for Dreams in Division 2.
Yeah,
when he had opportunity to play in one of the under 17 when Sika Akono was coaching, Sika Akono and Frimpong Manson, and then Kotoko got him to play. And then later, a team in German Bundesliga,
Augsburg.
Yes,
Greater Forth.
We went to Augsburg. Is it before we went to?
No, Greater Forth before Augsburg.
Yes. Then their Israel connection. Kurt and his Israel connection. And then Abraham Grant, captured him and he was in Chelsea. So now, what the clubs are thinking about is Titon or Tonaton.
Okay.
Interallies became a top club in Africa, not just because they are winning all the trophies, but because they were transferring a lot of players and they were cashing out. Interallies, I think the best thing they did was the FA Cup. They won the FA Cup.
No, Interallies.
They got closer
to the.
I think they made the
final. Yes.
Final, yes.
They should have gone for the 2014 one, which they couldn't. The House of Oak went to participate. Okay, so now Interallies become a top club by selling players, and if you look at Interallies, even when you go to the office, you will see that they are doing a project. So that's the mentality of the clubs that are in a year, if I'm able to transfer 5-6 players and 200,000, 150, put them together, we have about 1.5 or $2 million.
Can buy my Lexus.
Chairman. Chairman Nathan, $2 million or 2 million euros a year. What can't you do with it? So that's why when you say no football, people will tell you are saying that we are not doing the football, we are not doing this, we are not doing that. But when you go to our account, there's enough money.
We are doing well.
Yeah.
So that's why when they even get the players, they will tell the players that, hey, here, you have to do a possible best so that you attract offers from outside. Do you know a lot of agents comes into this country and scout players and send them outside?
That's true. I mean, I won't be surprised.
The players we've been chasing, they pick them from you. I remember I had an interview with Coach Duncan, and he said, the chaff is what we have here. The proper ones, under 15, as Kevin was talking about, under 15, under 16,
they are gone.
They have gone already. So we hear that Ghanaian players playing over here, and so we are chasing them. We are not chasing them. Oh. Someone came and picked them. You know, Man City, other clubs. Their agents will come in over here and scout for the players. It's only House of Oak and Kotoko, or probably now maybe Mediama, or Gold Stars and Samates. They are company. So you don't need much from player sales, because it's just like the CSR that they are doing for their community or for the country. But the rest, Dream Service, you don't know how many players they will transfer. Accra Lions. The referee mentioned it here last week or last 2 weeks. That Accra Lions now they are doing the project.
They move a lot of players.
They are moving a lot of players. They are getting a lot of money. So you go to Accra Sports Stadium, Accra Lions, when they were in Division 1, they were playing at Accra Sports Stadium. They were paying it. House of Oak were crying.
But Accra Lions was paying.
They were paying. When they were in Division 1, they were fighting Olympics and co to play at Accra Sports Stadium. And the National Sports Authority accepted them because they were paying.
Yes.
They had the money because they were transferring players. So for a year, you transfer 10 players, over 150. It's not 1.5 million. $1.5 million. So even when you use 500,000, you have a profit of $1 million. If you have a company every year, you have to make a profit of $1 million. It's not a good company.
It is.
Yeah, so
very highly profitable.
Exactly. But remember that these players, when they transfer them to another club, they have, because they don't sell them much, some of them they have 50%, 60%, 40%. And the other clubs, they give their players to the teams for free. Oh, develop them for me. So the transfers, that's where they earn their monies. Ray know, because one time he was attached to one club. And they had money. You know.
Is he?
I can mention a team we know that sometime past they used to have good money from good players like Tema Youth, Joseph Pencil, or Sabute,
Moses Oje.
You just mention a few.
Thomas Partey.
How many times did Thomas Partey played for Tema Youth? He couldn't play like 5 matches or 4 matches. But they took him to Spain and we saw him. Look at other players. Now, even let's talk about the academic guys we were talking about.
The Dreams West.
No. Let's go to from Goma Fetefire to Hawafa.
To Wafa.
Can you tell me a top class player Wafa have produced? Maybe we can talk about Simon Kalu when they say he passed through the Wafa Academy. He was playing with Jordan Opoku and co. So we can talk about him. Take him out. Who again? Maybe Samuel Tete?
Which one, Wafa?
or
so many players.
Or Majid Ashimon. I'm talking about playing like Chelsea, Manchester United, the top guys.
Solomon Kalu.
Yes. So and that was that's why I say apart from Solomon Kalu, who again for Wafa? So maybe they have even realized that Charlie is not about academy. Some of the class when you get closer, they tell academy. What's the academy? They will set example to you. This player, he came from nowhere. So maybe apart from Right to Dream, because they have Nordjylland.
No mention Harrison Affle.
Harrison, yeah.
Harrison Affle went to Colobos. They are not top.
What is not top?
They are not. Yes, I'm talking about.
Did you have any player who could beat Harrison Affle in his place in the Black Stars?
No, wait. I'm talking about the mentality of the clubs and what the clubs are saying.
Okay.
Yes, they will tell you.
Nathan, do you remember this Black Stars player, Lee?
Lee, Brecum Chelsea.
Yes.
Yeah, Lee, Brecum Chelsea.
So Lee went to World Cup. Did very well.
Yes.
And everybody said, you have such a boy on the local scene. And he's not playing abroad.
Yeah.
Then Lee got a deal to Red Star Belgrade. How many games did he play there? After that, went to China. Dali Abi.
But let's be sincere. Let's be sincere with ourselves. Let's be sincere with ourselves. That's why I think that our youth development and progress. If you pick someone like Liadi, who has one big tournament, one excellent tournament, I think on the local scene, do you think Liadi was one of our top defenders?
No, I think he was one of. He was a decent.
No, very good, decent
fullback.
Decent doesn't mean he was one of the top.
Yes.
You get it? So there are times players will go and have one good tournament, but are they the top players? That is why I think that our development part and our focus on players whom we should keep an eye on. Just like you mentioned, you mentioned Daniel Ado, the one who got the red card in the final. Between himself and Jonathan, good you me, trust you me. Daniel was just there, but what happened? What happened after the final? We just forgot about it, that we had a player like Daniel who we could have focused on. Akoto and the likes talk about Stephen Tete. I'm sure, Raymond, you are quite older. You watch Stephen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure many of our defenders match Stephen's quality and talent.
Yes,
but did we keep an eye on him to give him that sort of development?
Yes, I remember. So, wait, is it Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, 2001? That's when we played the African Youth Championship before we qualify for
the Argentina
World Cup. Yes. I took a few. Had to call him from Black Stars camp, from Satellite camp, to play Black Stars African Cup of Nations qualifier. That was when I finally said. Then some of the players, he will not call them for Argentina. So he dropped Stephen Odro, he dropped Michael Osei, he dropped, I think, Ishmaelado.
Yeah.
Yes. Then he dropped Stephen Tete. That was when players like John Pencil and then
John Mensah.
Yes, even Sule Muntari and co. Because when you checked that at 17, it was Lawrence Kenya and co. Yeah. They were playing. They played at New Zealand. Don Bote. Yeah. But Don Bote didn't go to Argentina 2001. So he said, okay, you are playing House of Oak. You guys want to win the Champions League, and then you want to qualify Ghana for Korea, Japan 2002. Yeah. Let me leave you to go there. So that I'll focus on other players. And eventually, those players help us even qualify for our first World Cup. And again,
just a quick announcement to our listeners: we are back on radio now, so you can tune in 106.1 on radio to listen to us.
And again, I remember we interviewed Joe Famier. He was top. He had one goal king for House of Oak. He was sold to a 4th division club in Germany. A 4th division club in Germany, and we know how good was Joe Famier. Was because House of Oak had Ishmaelado, Ajogu, Osman Amadou, and
you've mentioned the name.
Yes, and then they assisted 4 battalions. So they were, they were doing. They had spotted them from some clubs and co. So they were like, oh, okay, let's offload Joe Famier. And then they sold him. He said he regretted going to play Division 4 club in Germany. No official from the club even call was checking up on how was your performance, how are they treating you, because they had abundance of players, talent. You see, so it's about our interest. I don't know whether the FA can have a policy, but I know that those who are managing the clubs and co, their policy is ton, tetiton. They say tetiton.
I'm saying even the FA that you are saying, that is what they are doing.
Yeah, but they are the one managing the clubs.
The FA, they have players.
They get players into the national teams, and then the top brass people want to steal them and sell them.
Yes, ask for that one there.
That is what I'm talking about.
The top brass people to their agents.
I just made mention of the reason why Wafa, Norgeland, Right to Dream, Accra Lions, they are not willing to let their players get into the youth teams.
As for that one, it has been there since.
No,
me, I always talk with fact and figures.
Mm-hmm. Now it's dangerous.
Yes.
Now it's dangerous.
you
go and ask Richmond Lamptey.
Yes.
Why he sat on the bench and carried Coma at the AFCON. Coma. When we had only his prototype. Ashmeru Maji's prototype. He was the only person who could play like Ashmeru. But he never dressed. He never wore a jersey on for the match day squad. Ask why.
Do you remember Francis Jojo Bosman?
Yeah, Jojo Bosman.
Yes. We had an interview with him. Jojo Bosman says when he was playing, Jojo Bosman, Maclesian, other players like Ishmanado and co.
Derek and the likes.
Yeah. They were playing in Greater Accra Coast Football and co. He says they wanted him at Liberty or former Liberty owner.
Sly.
The late Sly.
Wanted to manage him. So therefore, he had to sign to their whether consortium or play for them because he was managing the late Jones Atuquefiu, Chelsea Jones Atuquefiu, and then Afani, and they were under 17 and 20. So if you not play, if you not come to her, then we not play.
Yes.
And the reason why, and then he said, no, I want to play for House of Oak. That was my dream club. And eventually, he wasn't given the opportunity to play under 17 to play because he was spotted at Milo Championship. He said, no, I will not go here. I want to play for House of Oak. And even it affected him when Jones didn't want to use him. So he has to let him go to Blekum. By 2004, he needed him. Then, therefore, he has to go for him. And then when he leave House of Oak and went to New Edibia, he went to meet Afrani there again. And then was a whole lot of things. So these things,
so you see,
this thing has been there.
Immortal.
And we need to find a way to make sure that we cure this.
It's everywhere. Even with Mourinho and the likes. Mourinho will never go for some certain players because of the that sort of differences he may have with one or two. But ask yourself, Jojo Bosman at that time. And the reason why I am holding brief for the late Alhaji Sly Tete, when he's dropping one player or he's not using you, he's giving us top quality. Yeah. Your standard.
Your replacement is as good
as you. And ask yourself, Jojo, who were the players Jojo had to battle for places with? Laye, Essien, Derek Boateng. Charlie, you yourself, if I put all these three players there and I put Jojo Bosman, Raymond, which player are you going to pick? You pick these players ahead of Jojo Bosman. That is the truth. Talk about that Hearts of Oak team. Talk about the players who were in there at that time. Which players were in there at that time before the 2004 when he came back to play? When Cobson is playing, you won't bring Jojo Bosman to come and play. When Charles Salote is playing, you won't bring Jojo Bosman to come and play. And they clearly told you that, come on, if Jojo Bosman is not playing, I am giving you another player of top level quality who is going to give me the results. It's the reason why Afrani, after dropping all the likes of Steven Odro and still gave us what? Quality to go and perform. And that is all what we are talking about. If you are not giving me player A, give me a player who is close to player A to give me that kind of result. Or even better than player A to give me that kind of result. Kevin, that is all we want.
Yes, Kevin, one thing is
that is all we want. We're talking about players under 20 and then we say they are playing at national team. Look at Ethan Wanyeri and other players, even in England. Adam Wharton.
Yeah.
When they were selecting, they told him, yes, we know you are good, but still go and play for the under 21s.
Yeah.
Go and play there. Why? Because we have a future hot for you. You don't rush players through. let the quality who are there remain there, and let those players get better development still at the lower levels.
Under circumstances,
unfortunately,
we cannot.
We can do it. We can allow. We can do it.
What is it?
We can do it.
Under circumstances, we cannot allow the players to. We cannot
So
nurture
imagine
talents.
if Salastete has said, but the day you played at 2008 AFCON, so what are you going to do at under 20 again? Would we have seen Andre at this level?
No.
He said, Ajima Bedu, Naza Oboko Toko Dada, Brekum Arsenal. Or be paid them national team. Go, I have small boys who will come in. No. Get the best available materials at every point. Put them in there. Get the result and go your way. Dan, yeah, median.
Yes, but Kevin. But now the talents, they are not like before. And you know
Who said?
Oh, they are not like before.
Look, that is Sensui crop.
Where are they?
Who said?
Where are they?
We have them, but the development.
Mention them. Let's see.
I think there's still
How
our
many-
talents. Is that this time, as we've established, the scouts come to pluck them very early.
Yes.
We were complaining that we don't have a player who could carry the ball, who could play at the last qualifiers that we played when Nyama played as a double number 10. What did we say? What did we say about him? What did we say about Nyama?
But that was just a one-off game.
What is one of
I
game?
mean, that was the only time
that
I
was
saw
Chad.
Neymar
That was
against Chad. That was the only time I saw Neymar do
When
that.
Caleb Birinchi played.
That was Chad.
Yeah, the Unity Cup.
Yes.
Yeah.
Against what?
TNT. When I
Now where do you want them to start? Where do you want them to
But
start
against
from?
Nigeria, he came off the bench against
Against
Nigeria.
Against Nigeria. Did you see him against Nigeria? Did you see him against Nigeria?
No, which Nigeria?
Which Nigeria? Nigeria is Nigeria.
Which Nigeria?
Osimi, Nigeria. Or
Nigeria is Nigeria.
Nigeria.
But the Black Stars, did we have? But the Black Stars, it wasn't a party Black
that's
Stars.
also how he played.
Was it a party and Andre
That's
Black
also how
Stars?
Caleb
So you see, the talent is there. If these guys are rubbing shoulders with other talent in the world, in the top leagues, why do you think we don't have quality? We have it there. It's the same way many think that yes, the Rolls Royce defender Rio Ferdinand was. We don't have his like again. But there are players who are performing. Will you tell me they are not defenders there? Look at John Stones and how he's played over the years and won Premier League titles. You tell me that he's not up there.
oh, he's out there. See, Ray,
Me, you see,
Okay.
me to
Let's-
end it all. I feel that look, when our local players get the chance to go abroad,
Yes.
the first thing, depending on their age, the first.
Raymond,
You cannot run away from. You cannot run away from the age.
Never.
Yes,
Never
wait,
have
wait,
I seen.
wait, let me help you. Let me help you. Yes, we were talking about 2000 we're talking about the age cheating, the MRI times. If you remember 2005.
MRI, when did MRI kick?
2005.
MRI kicked in
2005.
Okay.
When we went to
So that was the Peru tournament.
yes, when we went to Gabon.
Yeah.
Gambia. And then they say a supporter went to the poll and we lost.
Yeah. That game
So then
was
the
huge.
Gambian had some tall guys, you see.
Yeah.
Then
Osam do coach that game.
yes, when we were moving to the World Cup in Peru, we dropped 6 of our top players.
Because
And I've managed to get them here.
Because of
Because that was when they had announced that the MRI will work.
immediately.
So these are the players. Let me see. See, the 6 players who failed to make up to the World Championship. Okay, so Jerry Akaminko was one. If you remember, there was a goalkeeper called Michael Ado,
Yes.
who became the first choice goalkeeper in Gambia.
That's
He was
right.
our first choice goalkeeper in Gambia.
Yes.
He was dropped.
Yes, Michael.
Okay, let's see some of the names. Emmanuel Osebanahene,
Yes.
Kennedy Colley,
Banahini wasn't a goalkeeper.
Yes,
Banahini
was also a
a
goalkeeper.
goalkeeper. Yeah.
Emmanuel Osebanahene,
Yes.
Kennedy Colley. No, it's different from the Emmanuel Osebanahene.
From Argentina.
From
Yes.
Argentina.
Okay, that's a
this
different-
one is also
no
a different
problem.
Who
one.
was yes.
Then Kennedy
This guy, the
Colley.
one you were calling him Carlos. Was it Carlos?
Yeah.
Yes. Emmanuel Osebanahene. Kennedy Colley from Bofo. Solomon Adi from Sportnet. Tema. Peter Essien, Hazakes Peter Essien.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Samuel Inkum from Winneba Academy. 2005.
2005.
2005.
Yeah.
And then Oforinya Akon from Liberty. Remember this guy? Noah Mate.
Wait, from what you are saying, Inkum was dropped because of age, or he was, or they did not. He was dropped. Okay.
But that time,
They said he was dropped.
that
Kennedy.
So wait, 2005, 17.
Yes.
So that means he was less than. He was just like that
was
lad,
less
maybe
than,
14.
Oh.
Because if I look at 2009 and 2005, it's 4 years old. So
Yes,
if it's 17, okay, he was less than.
Remember that FIFA didn't have this. It's about passport. Your first passport. That's what they are talking
Yeah,
about.
let me go and
accept
check.
it.
Let me go and check the.
We didn't have the TMS system or whatever system. So it's the passport we are presenting.
Yeah.
And then remember this player, Kasenu Gandhi.
Casino, yeah.
Yes.
They were the 6 players. They were in top.
Gandhi eventually played under 20 2009.
Oh, Nyantua say a passport now to corner.
passport.
Yeah, publication.
89,
I'm just saying.
89 to 2007. 89 to 2009 is how many years?
So you see,
89 to 2009.
these
20.
players.
So he was 20
89,
flat.
99. So 20.
So he was 20 flat when he played at Inkum. He was 20 flat because his first June 1989.
Maybe.
So he was 20
Remember the
flat.
under 20 World Cup. The under 20 World Cup was in October 2009. So income what? So which means that
he was
20 plus a few months.
Was it October?
Yeah, 20
Yes,
plus a few months.
because September.
So
the
he was-
final was played on the 16th.
So
of
he was
October.
20 plus a few months. Okay.
And then we went for we went with the tournament with the likes of Opoku Ajiman, David Taifa, Mubarak Wakasu, Sadat Bukari,
Jonathan Mensah.
yeah, Jonathan Mensah, Iman Anson, you know, and then Iman Ajete and co, and Samad Opong, if you remember him, and then goalkeeper Enesoa and co. They were there, so Enesoa, and then Nana Bonsu.
Yeah, Nana Bonsu.
He even went to Nigeria to make his name over there. So you see, this was when under 17 and under 20, because it was under 17 broke down.
So,
All right.
From here.
Nathan, just like I wanted to say, when our players play in the local league and get a chance to go abroad, because of what they have dealt with here, because of the challenges they've been through, because of the lack of opportunity to even join national teams, some of them abandon thoughts of where I can go from here, possibly go and win the Ballon d'Or, possibly the best player in the world or no. That mentality never appears. It vanishes into thin air. Okay? So, that is why you have the likes of Liadi. Have one good World Cup, move on, make some good cash, and then die out. You have the likes of Aminu Dramani, go to one good World Cup, one good tournament, score a couple of goals, the world is chasing you, make one move, and then you fizzle out. That is why we will have all of those things happen. But when you go for a player from the academy system, like the Right to Dream, most of these players are ingrained with a certain mentality. I'm sure they tell the players, you are a very good player, you are one of the best players in the world, you can possibly win the Ballon d'Or.
It's education.
So the players have that mentality when they go out there.
It's the education and
So,
orientation.
yes, such a player can understand that, look, go to this club to improve on yourself.
Yeah.
You get the opportunity to go to another club that will polish you more, and then you become that Kudus Mohammed that a West Ham will come and chase, or Tottenham will come and buy later.
Yeah.
There are two types of models, but most of the time, the model that wins is the one where the money is put on the table, take it or take it.
Well, so you see,
Right.
I think I just hope that we'll get those running football like Sly, the late Sly.
Yeah. We need those people.
I think
again.
I don't know about, maybe Raymond can tell us about his former friend, your former boss. I don't know his mentality and how he transferred the players and how he picked players. And what was his focus?
Into all sorts of
No, but
and bosses.
Okay, yes.
You don't know what they're talking
So
about.
David Govita is telling me just like I'm talking about slices. Kofita says the scouts coming into the country are even destroying our players, taking them to Romania, Latvia, and other places.
That's what I was saying.
Latvia. You see, and it says desperate clubs bringing desperate scouts who don't know anything. Now scouts they say what scouts and agents, intermediaries. Plenty. All you need to do is to sit, write exam
and that's it. You've passed.
Now, let's say I get hold of a talent in my area. I think I have a friend who is a scout. This guy, they will see it in the home. Then we'll cut join videos. Bah!
Boom, that's it.
I say didn't. That's the first word.
It's a big problem. And that is why I think that if we get back the national academy again, if we get it, and we concentrate on building players at that level again, even if the scouts will pick players, the nation can also pick a handful where we would be giving out to the clubs. Imagine this under 19 that at the Congress, they say what? Clubs should field under what? Is it under 20 or under?
For under 19.
Under 19.
So they
imagine. So let's say if the FA has a very good system pool of players, tell me now, because the FA there is a plan to have these players develop and this that. It happens across the world where they put players in certain teams because we want them to develop.
Yeah.
Ask yourself why PSG is getting France. Desiree Doué. Come to PSG. Come and play with Dembele. Come and play with Kvaratskhelia. Come and play with Vitinha. Get that proper sense and get into the national team. You
and
tell the
right,
clubs.
because in places like France,
yes,
Clairefontaine,
yes.
At every time when players are graduating, Ligue 1 clubs are queuing up to get the best players.
Very good. So do that and get these quality talents that you have developed in the clubs. It becomes easier for you to at least have a push so that you still mark their development. Just like we chase and we follow the Black Stars, the development of the players. You go and visit Thomas Partey, you go and visit Jordan, you go and visit GHALCA. We should do same for these young lads because they need it. So when you put these young lads in Asante Kotoko, I have 2 at House of Folk. I have 3 at let's say Brickwich. I have 4 with Karela. I have 5 with this team. I am keeping up on their progression. And you have links with the coaches or the development path. Come on, how is this guy doing? If you think that he's not doing well, take him, put him in a different club. As simple as that. That way you can instill the by force 4 under 19 players in your squad, match day squad. That one, it works because you know that there is a greater future which you have planned for these players and a plan to back it. Other than that, we'll continue to lose most of our quality talent. Because just like you are saying, I won't spend money on my player and then I will bring him to the national team. Somebody else will change, let him sign documents and then he won't become my player again and you go and sell him to a club in Latvia, Monrovia and whatever. No, I won't do that.
Right, interesting. 8:48. As promised yesterday, we'll run boxing back a little later. Raymond Yamado will be here. Eko Asma has joined us again. Eko, how are you doing? Good morning.
Good. I was following your under 17 stuff.
Yes. I don't know if you have any
GHALCA stuff and all that.
I don't know if you have any quick thoughts, and then we quickly play a wrap of yesterday's top 4.
GHALCA was one of the most refreshing talents to emerge on the scene, on the local scene at the time. Remember Mighty Pram Royals matching at Accra Stadium, and the entire stadium was stunned by his style. He just had a style about him. It was typical right wing. Not like Bannerman, but he was very flashy.
Yeah.
He was flashy with the ball, but he wouldn't lose the ball. I wasn't Ray or somebody else saying he was doing all the necessary things.
Yeah, it was
and all the necessary things, and he wouldn't lose the ball. Exactly. He had ball security. I think the coaches liked him because of his ball security. And he was flashy, and he was somebody the fans looked up to going to see. So he was driving traffic to the stands. So those are the kind of players we need. Now we don't have those kind of players that would drive traffic. And you be home and you start making susu for a particular match because of GHALCA and the likes. So he was very flashy, and during that time, it was almost an expectation for Ghana to win at the under 17 level.
Okay.
Because from 86 we had gone to Scotland, and
89.
It was about the most refreshing team. It was the youngest team they hadn't just mastered the art of putting the ball in the net, but as to all the kitchen and all that, the typical Ghanaian kitchen, they showcased it at the world stage, you know. And so it was almost there. But we had great coaches. You know, forget about the players and all that. We had great coaches.
Yeah.
And we had a concentration of them. So that's what accounted for what we won. Besides the official age cheating, for which we were... don't forget, Ghana was banned for age cheating. So you can't just talk about it as if it's
Really?
a hearsay. Oh, yes. Ghana's been banned for age cheating.
Yeah, I know.
It's on record.
At the
women's
level.
Nigeria even predated Ghana. No, at the men's level and the women's level too.
Okay.
At the under 17. Even during your favorite GFA president, Ket Okeku's time, Ghana's been banned for age cheating.
Yeah.
So we have that history together with Nigeria. The MRI has really, put it in check somewhat.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Yes. So it accounts for part of the reason Ghana is no longer winning there.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't run away from the fact Ghana's been banned for age cheating. You can't say it's not a fact. It's a fact. But we had better coaches. We had a lot of coaches, and we had a greater concentration of the players because at the time the academy system hadn't picked up.
Yeah.
And one of your panelists was talking about how was it Ray? I don't remember who. That they are leaving before they hit the spotlight. You know. Down there in the shadows, that's where the agents come, and they are sending our players by the shiploads going, so they're doing good business in the lower divisions and all that. It was also the case, but at the time, way during my childhood days and my formative years in journalism, it wasn't easy to break into the European sites like it is now. Now it's easier. So that accounts for the flight, the degree of the flight. At the time, even though we had great players, it wasn't like they wanted to stay here. No, it wasn't easy to break into Europe. It wasn't at all. But we had great coaches. I saw Anthony Yeboah when he was at Cornerstone. He wasn't great. He was great with the ball on and off, his athleticism and all that. But he was wasting a lot of chances. I saw him. But Coach Herbert Edusei, worked on him, that was it. So if you have a good coach, you can turn local material into global standard.
Yeah.
That was what changed for Anthony Yeboah. He had everything. He had the speed, he had the power, he had anticipation, he was athletic and all that. But his goal scoring rate was low. But he was so good that he was always getting into position to score.
Yeah.
So he was giving the defenders a lot of problems. So you could...
And then the next level was unlocked by coaching.
That's it.
Yes.
So, and we had a lot of the coaches, premier coaching. So that, if you want to talk about the cumulative effect, it's not just the flight, the exodus and all that, the degree of the exodus and all that. Because now it's easier to ship some, but it has its advantages too.
Yeah.
Because those guys that go, they help families back home. But it's because I think the dearth of premier coaching. That's what I think. Because after Ghana, forever, we'll never run short of footballers.
Yes.
It's a great blessing from God and Ghana is God's own country. You know that. A small country, look at it on the map. We have everything. Yeah. All the natural resources, everything. Everything. We have everything, including human resources. So what I think is lacking now is the premier coaching, the standard of coaching.
True.
If we had them still here in the various communities, there are a lot of players who couldn't make it into some of these teams and all that. But if their standards were high, at the time, all you needed was to have played one big match, in Accra.
And that's it.
That's it. One big match in Accra, that's it. You could be doing well wherever, but once you got to Accra, you had to showcase it. I remember Adai Chanchanhene, one match at Accra Stadium, Kotoko and Hearts here. That was it. He dominated it, and that was it. It was a matter of time that he would be called into the national team. Actually, at the end of the match, even the Hearts fans were saying Chanchanhene Black Stars because of the showcase he put on. So, and these players all go through some serious coaching, the premier coaching. And one of the things that I think has helped Ghana is coaches like J.E. Sapon now being tapped to train the kids at their formative ages.
Very, very important.
That's the whole thrust of the society. if the foundation is not good,
that's it.
What are you going to turn? Are you going to wait till you are 18 to learn how to trap a ball well?
Yeah.
Like if you meet a goalkeeper, it should be automatic where you know you're going to put the ball. If you meet him on this side, the ball is going that side. If you meet him at that side, right side, the ball is going diagonal. They knew all that. And if you wanted the ball to bounce over the keeper, you hit the ball at the top, and it will bounce over the keeper. It was automatic. Even I know it. They knew it. They were taught all of these things. So it was just a matter of time. Once the chance was created, boom. And you know, Ghana has been our mainstay. The midfield has been our mainstay as to how to control the midfield, create the chances. Now, who's going to finish? Fortunately for Ghana, well, it's looking good at the Black Stars level. Well, at least somebody is showing off now in the Premiership, scoring 2 goals against your favorite Liverpool. So we getting some hope. You know, Kudus also doing well and all that. But it's through the academy system. But at the time, we had a concentration of the players staying longer, which also helped the standard of play. Because if you could, for Hearts of Oak, if they could keep players for 5 seasons, definitely,
of course,
the standard of play would be higher. Then the fans' loyalty to the players would drive them to the stands and all that. So it helped grow the local league. You know, I don't know if we can get to that, but these are some of the factors that accounted for what happened then and what we're seeing now.
Great. Interesting conversation. It started off really as just a trip into time, just talking about the 95 Under-17 World Cup. It's brought us 4 minutes. It's taking us all the way here, 4 minutes to 9. Let's, for those who missed out on the top 4, let me just give you this quick wrap of what happened yesterday. Day 1 of the GHALCA Top 4. Gold Stars beat Kotoko 2-1, and Hearts of Oak beat Hearts of Lions by a goal to 0. This is still the Sporty Breakfast on Sporty FM. We are back on radio now, so you can tune in 106.1, and you can still listen to us on social, on X Spaces, and on Instagram and on Facebook, and then you can also listen to us on the multi-TV DJ Box channel 0065. But here's a wrap of day 1 of the GHALCA Top 4 put together by my colleague David Kofite.
Day 1 of the GHALCA Top 4 tournament at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium ended with victories for BBN Gold Stars and Hearts of Oak. In the opening match, Premier League champions Gold Stars came from behind to beat Asante Kotoko 2-1. Albert Amwa fired Kotoko into an early lead, but the champions leveled through a penalty before sealing the win when Henry Ansu inadvertently turned the ball into his own net. Gold Stars coach Frimpong Manson praised his players' resilience, saying the result would serve as a big boost for the team moving forward.
It's been good for us in terms of motivation because our players, I think it will motivate them in this tournament because a team like Kotoko and you are playing as the first game, for me I think that alone puts a lot of pressure on players. At once they've been able to deal with it, I think going forward they will do better in the next 2 weeks.
The second game of the day saw Hearts of Oak edge Hearts of Lions 1-0. A Ransford Mensah free kick forced a first-half own goal, which proved decisive in an otherwise cautious contest. Phobians coach Masoud Didi Dramani expressed satisfaction with the result, insisting his side would build on the positives.
It's good to win, but it's good to put in energy, effort, and then performance. I think I value those aspects rather than just the element of winning. I see winning in different levels. Where we are, we need to share game minutes and then across the squad, and it is important not to those players out of the range where they have reached. We have not reached a level where we can go deep 90 minutes. It's sometimes we are forced to push players beyond those minutes, and I think that scientifically is unacceptable.
In contrast, Lions boss Bashir Hayford admitted his disappointment, suggesting it is no news losing to Hearts.
Our defender just headed the ball into the net. So that is football. We'll go back again. It's all play all. So we've done with Hearts of Oak. We are level 2 teams. We are preparing. We are going to prepare and face them. So yes, once again we've lost to Hearts of Oak, and it's no news.
The competition continues on Friday with Gold Stars facing Hearts of Oak in their next fixture, while Kotoko meets Hearts of Lions.
So that was a wrap put together by Kelvin Owusu-Ansah. He was at the stadium yesterday to cover the game between. Okay, right. I got you. Yes, that was a wrap put together by David Kofi. He was at the stadium yesterday to watch the games that took place in the GHALCA Top Four. But Kelvin Owusu-Ansah is here with me. He ran commentary on both games, and he will share his thoughts with me on exactly what happened, what he watched, and what he thinks about the state of play of both clubs, all four clubs in the competition. Kelvin, once again, welcome to Sporty Breakfast.
Thank you so much, Raymond.
Great. Let's get into what happened yesterday. We saw Kumasi Asante Kotoko take on the defending champions, and it was 1-1 at a point. How Gold Stars won the game thanks to that own goal shocked everybody. That own goal itself. Let's talk about the own goal.
Well, I think it was Henry Ensu. Yes, Kotoko's centre back. He plays together with the captain Samba O'Neill. So they normally switch, but Samba is mostly on the left-hand side and Ensu plays on the right-hand side of the defence. So at that time, it was 1-0 because Kotoko scored first. Albert Amwa with a brilliant finish to open the score. But Samba O'Neill went into a very rash challenge, committed a penalty, and Samuel Takumi sent Mohamed Kamara the wrong way. Beautiful penalty that was dispatched by Samuel Takumi. The game went on a break, came for the second half. Teams were gradually picking up the pieces. So it was an attack from Gold Stars, which they failed to, make good use of the opportunity, and Kotoko got possession of the ball. A pass to Henry Ensu for Kotoko to restart play. He was close to the byline or the touchline, and he just had his back to the goalpost. Ordinarily, or the basics now will tell you that if you are playing a back pass, you don't play it directly to the goalpost. You play it to the side of the goalpost, so that in case of any eventuality, you don't end up scoring an own goal. You can only play directly towards your goalpost when you find the goalkeeper. You see the goalkeeper like this, directly to the goalkeeper. That is if you can see the goalkeeper. But Henry Ensu decided to make the pass unforced. It's not like he was forced or there was pressure on him. He decided to make the pass with his back to his goalkeeper. So he didn't look at the goalkeeper, assuming that the goalkeeper was in front of the goalpost, directly in front of the goalpost. And he even kicked it to the point that it was more like he was scoring a Gala against his own goalkeeper, because the goalkeeper, Kamara, had also moved to the edge of the goalkeeper's area, what we normally call the 6-yard box. He was just there because he wanted to make the distance shorter for Ensu, so that when he turns, he can make that pass and then they restart play. But by the time Kamara realized,
too clever.
The ball was too quick and it got into.
What was Karim Zito's reaction?
He was surprised. All those who watched on TV could see his demeanor, but he just got back to the bench and then he tried to inspire, because there was still a lot of time for Kotoko to get the equalizer. But at that point, Frimpong Manso and his team were in the lead, and once they were in the lead, they were not going to allow Kotoko to get advantage of any goal-scoring opportunities. So Kotoko had a number of them where they could have scored, but they wasted them. Some goalkeeper Emmanuel Kobe was brilliant on the day, as well as defenders. That is it Adong? No, Anaba. Anaba. He was brilliant. And then there's this guy Kevin Opong. Vincent Atenga was on the bench, so Kevin Opon and Anaba played in that central defense. And then Bright Tre on the right-hand side of the defense, very excellent footballer. Later on, Samuel Ajiman came to play on the left-hand side, and he also did a very good job, because is it Edmond? Yes, Emmanuel Abuaje had to go off for him to come on. I think Gold Stars have a very good team. They haven't made lots of changes to the team. And you can clearly see the handwork of Frimpong Manso. Anybody who's seen Frimpong Manso coach, he wants his team to keep possession of the ball. Remember when Bofakwa returned to the league? When they started, they were playing very well. Yeah. And then the internal politics, the Sunyani politics started coming in. You are not playing this player, we want you out, we want you out. They got rid of him. And the team started losing, because no coach could handle the players that. He went to Gold Stars when Michael Osei failed, and he took over the team, and he's just transformed the team entirely. Let's not forget, he's not playing with some of his key men. The likes of Apia McCarthy and all these players are struggling, battling with injuries. He's lost Prince Kwabna Ozu and the likes. He's playing with Samson Eduku, the guy who was rejected at Asante Kotoko. He failed to have, even 90 minutes of a single game, or even 90 minutes put together. But yesterday, he tormented the defense. It was more like, yes, I've trained with you guys in Kumasi, Adakojachi, so I know how you play. Yeah. So consistently, every time they play the ball, he was heckling them, he will high press, making sure that they make some errors, and then his team capitalize on it. In midfield, they have Francis Chene. He's his experience from Bichim United. Anyone who knows Chene, he got to a point, Kotoko wanted to sign him, but Bichim were not ready to lose him to, because they were losing a number of players. That was the time Hafiz Konkoni Wanta, decided to leave. Kofi Abeshima moved to Hartlepool. So they were like, no, we cannot lose the core of our team. So he stayed, but now he's joined. And he played with one guy in midfield, Isaac Konto. Very excellent player. And then Ajeti, he moves the ball like, with power and with pace.
Like Pate?
No. Why are you like that?
I was trying to.
He moves the ball with power. Those meridian runs from Ajimambedu, when he bursts from midfield into attack. That is how he plays. Like, and they have Anajeni Boateng on the right hand side, who plays very well, and then Samuel Atakumi on the left hand side, and then Samson Eduko leading the attack. I think Frimpong also has a good team, but they still need to be a bit clever up front. Because the number of chances they create, if you don't have a finisher, it means your work is not done. And he's even admitted it, that yes, they still need to get better. He has lots of players on the bench which he can trust. The likes of Akwesinti and the likes are all there where he can resort to. But for Kotoko, I think the players, you could see that they were very much tired. They played on Monday 2 games in Cape Coast, 2 different games, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, with the same setup.
Okay.
Yes, they played. And then they moved to Accra on Tuesday and played the top 4 wins. So you could clearly see the fatigue in some of the players. But that is not an excuse for some of the chances that they missed. Kwame Poku was lethargic. I still ask questions. If Zito wants to play the 4-3-3, he cannot allow Kwame Poku alone to be up there. Then he should play a system that will suit him, because he's not one of the players who is clever on the ball, has that ability to keep the ball.
He's just a finisher.
So you need him to be knocking the ball off, and then the scraps will be fed on by Albert Amwa. But Albert Amwa is also, deployed wide. So by the time he gets in, the opponents have recovered, and then they keep in shape. In midfield, he's playing 2 new midfielders, and I would say 3, because Emmanuel Enchi, towards the last, he only got in when Zito took over the team with just about 5 matches to end the season. For most parts of last season, he wasn't the core midfielder. It was Intim Menu. Let's not forget, he also has a cruciate ligament tear. So for next season, for 1 year, let's say Intim is not going to be part of Kotoko's setup. Hilary Adabo from Samatex, his experience and all that. But I think together with Seth Kwejo, the 2 of them are not understand who stays and who moves up. Yeah. So it was a bit difficult for them. And Enchi was just too high up that the disconnect between himself and the midfield was glaring to see. The brightest spot I saw in the Kotoko team yesterday was Shaibu Abubakar, the right back. Yeah. Excellent player. For the first 15 minutes, he was jittery. But he's a player who played for Karela, RTU. He has that experience. He traveled and he's returned. And I think yesterday, after the first 15 minutes, he grew into the game. He played. He gave me glimpses of, let's say, maybe Samuel Nkum, Aziz and Sam, but I don't know whether he can keep that consistency. Players show promise, but as to whether they can keep that consistency, I think Patrick Esiedu needs to have lots of confidence in himself. It got to a point many were clamoring that he should get into the Black Stars, the Black Galaxies, or even the Black Stars as a backup left back. But I think he needs some bit of confidence. For Samba O'Neill, complacency. He's becoming overconfident. Yesterday, lots of errors were committed by him. And I think he needs to work it out, because the number of mistakes he made, if it was any potent striker, they would have punished Kotoko and beaten them by about 3 or 4 goals in the game. Maybe they should just talk to him. Zito needs to cool him down. Zakaria Fuseni is on the bench. I don't know whether in the next game on Friday against Heart of Lions they're going to deploy him or not. So we'll wait to see that. But finally, just quickly on Heart of Folk and then Heart of Lions. Yeah. They made it a double over, Lions. Sunday they beat them 2-0 in the Bese Manche Homo Charity Peace Cup. And yesterday was the same thing. Lions dominated, but Heart of Folk converted their chances.
Can we say Didi Dramani now understands the team and now knows how he wants his boys to play. Has he finally?
Yesterday we spoke to him and on the side, and he said he's still not getting the finished product he wants. And we know him. If you remember Didi in his days after the Black Maidens when he replaced Max Oknedu at Kotoko, it's difficult for you to score against him. But when his team gets their chances, they will score, and then he will run away with either a blank sheet without scoring, that is a goalless draw, or he will beat you 1-0, narrow victories until it got to a point where he shaped up Yahya Mohammed and Seydou Bansi to become one of the fiercest attacks we saw in the league, and then he managed to win that double. So for him, I think yes, he's concentrating on how his team will get to understand how he wants to play. But until then, he'll continue to play like this. Let's keep it tight, keep it narrow. When we attack, we get a few chances and we score. It was a deflected free kick that got the goal for Hearts. Bashir Hayford's team still needs a striker. Kwadwo Obin Jr. is not the man for them. They have a very good team. Very, very good team. If you have Ibn Izaban with all the experience from the league, Aholu's trains, Stephen Aholu, he trains the goalkeepers. Lauren, yes. That team is filled up with former players. Daniel Nieje as assistant, Aholu goalkeepers trainer. There is this guy who is a prisons officer. Is it Ernest Asante or something Asante? He was formerly a former Hearts of Folk player. He's a prisons officer. He's part of the team. So, you look at their setup, the way they play. Yesterday, they dropped some of their players, Ishmaelado, the guy who was with the under 20 and all that. He said he's tired from the under 20 time and all that. So they want to rest him because they know that next season. Yeah. So Bashir Hayford wasn't a happy man because he felt that his charges wasted too many times. There was this guy, I don't know, that Sakura guy, Freeman.
Freeman.
He's workaholic, but he needs
the Liberian player.
Yes. He's workaholic, but I think his end product, he plays like Alexa Samoa. Finishing is poor, but he has energy, he has pace, he has power, but I think if he takes his time to finish off chances, he will be a good player. So wait to see on Friday, the first game at Asante Kotoko, Heart of Lions. Both teams lost their games. They will be looking forward to getting it. And later on, Gold Stars against Heart of Folk at 6 p.m. on Friday. So let's not forget, we'll bring you your live commentary on Sporty FM 106.1 FM. So today is a breather for the teams, and then we'll return on Friday for the 2 games.
Right. Thank you very much, Kelvin, for joining us on the show this morning. So the Gala Top Four continues on Sporty FM. On Friday, just like Kelvin said, Gold Stars will play Hearts of Folk at 3. And Hearts of Lions will take on Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Okay, so Gold Stars, Hearts of Folk would play at 6. And Lions and Kumasi Asante Kotoko would play at 3 p.m. The games will continue on Sunday, the 24th of August at 3 p.m. Gold Stars will take on Hearts of Lions, and at 6 p.m. Kumasi Asante Kotoko will play Hearts of Folk. So live commentary on Sporty 106.1 FM. But away from boxing, away from football, we go to boxing. My boxing experts are here with me. We'll continue the discussion from where we left off yesterday, and Jojo Efson is here with me. Jojo Efson, these days, he's more of a sports crusader. These days, he does a lot of, talking, doing a lot of advocacy and all. But he also works as the comms director, the communications director of the Ghana Boxing Federation. Jojo, good morning to you and welcome back.
Good morning, Raymond.
How are you doing?
I'm doing better. You weren't here yesterday.
Yes, I wasn't. Yes.
And I have a special request from someone who does not want his name to be public.
Okay.
He wants a special face-to-face, a special arrangement of senior echo, and then your good friend, now chief entrepreneur, Braham Nikwe. And he will be the moderator.
Well, let whoever talk to my people. Let their people talk to my people. Okay. And we'll arrange. And we have to talk about the pest and all that.
Yes. Right. And then
we have to talk about the pest.
So Ray must sanction that.
We have to talk about the pest. We have to agree on the pest, the size of the glove, and all that, the venue and all that.
You both have the same height and size.
No, you're not listening to me. We have to talk about the pitch, the size of the glove, the venue, and all that. So let his people talk to my people, and then if we can.
So the one proposing it, we have to take it up now.
Yeah, so you tell them. You haven't told me. So I was worried.
No, he wanted to break the news on it.
That's right. So let their people talk.
So it's coming up.
Yes. Let their people talk to their people. There's no problem. You just want me to make some more money.
Yeah,
right?
That's
it.
right.
No problem. No problem.
So after the batch, then we launch the book.
Yeah. The book, I'm still waiting on Fifi Banson, to come through.
Right.
And then not just him, of course. A few other people who want to input.
Right.
And I'm kind of waiting on them. But Fifi is the main man. Right. So it's gone to a point where we have to push it over the line.
Right.
And then because the material has been ready. It's been ready. And we have more than about 50 pictures.
Oh, okay.
A lot. And most of the pictures probably nobody has seen in Ghana. From Kute Robertson's time with Sugar Raymond and all that, all the way Dicko Boys in some of the shots, all the way to Azuma Nelson, DF Annan, Mrs. Anna Enin, all of that, all of those shots. Jerry John Rawlins with Sekama. Well, I'm paying real tribute. Sekama, Atuke Klote, John Kema, Setasa. I even spoke with John Kema Jr. and all that. So all the people that need to be praised, whose names have to be in the book, are in there.
All right.
Yes.
Right. So you just heard the voice of Eko Asma. Eko Asma is a senior journalist, and he has written lots of books, including celebrating our world champions. He has written lots of books. So he's a seasoned boxing analyst and a seasoned boxing expert. So if you talk about boxing in Ghana, you can't leave out the name Eko Asma. He's here with me in studio. But Jojo, before we begin the conversation, earlier on, Nathan came up with a discussion around the 95 squad, the Ecuador 95 team with Audu Isaka and the likes, the team that won the title. I'm sure you have a lot of experience having seen that team play. In 1 minute, your quick thoughts on that team and what they did that time, what you made of their performance and everything that happened in that tournament.
Well, it's one of the best collection of some of the young talent we did have. At the time, I used to visit them. That was my lower sixth form that time. So they were at Winneba Sports College, and then Kosamade and Otia Kente as the assistant. Otia Kente was a lecturer at the Winneba Sports College. So those times we do make excursion to Winneba, a popular beach called St. Charles. So we visit them, and apparently I knew some of them from Amprobi, the like of Raymond Fenny, who was the goalkeeper, the reserve goalkeeper to
Abu. I think
Abu. Then we have Oscar Asamoah also, Then Stephen Appiah, whom I have known, when he was somewhere around a place called Ujogomi from Amprobi. Now the Zion School there. And Patrick Alote, the late Patrick Alote. That's Alote, Aziz Ansan. These are all Amprobi boys. But, Aziz Ansan they were junior to that particular team. So, we do visit them. And Blaster also do train. The U20 team, also train the Siki Akuno, the team that went to Atlanta 96. So we do visit them. So I met a couple of them. They were very good. Baba Sule and all those players. I wasn't surprised when they went to the African Championship in Mali, dismantled Nigeria, to the chagrin of the late dictator Sani Abacha, who did not understand how Ghana should have played them and outscored them. So they disbanded the Nigerian under 17 team at the time. And we went to the world in Ecuador. The performance was massive. We won the, that's Ghana. The Starlet won the competition. I have a memory of players like Abu Idrisu, Ana Atakurama Niampon, Bentil, and all those great players. Some of them were then playing for the Premier League teams. Prampran Mighty Royals produce Abu Idrisu. Oh no, is it Abu Idrisu? Abu Idrisu was RTU. Then Audi Saka was Ipampra Mighty Royals from Bofakwa, Tano and those things.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, Raymond Fanning, you House of Folk, Stephen Appiah, House of Folk. Then Okwa United have, is it Bentil Okwa United? Cornerstones have Baba Idrisu among other players, and they were great, and they went to the world, conquered the world, and that was the last we could hear from them. After some of them were transitioned to or were promoted to the U20, they went to Malaysia and that thing. It's unfortunate they didn't blossom to the top for us to get that thing, and that's one of the things that we have to look at. Because if you look at, their contemporaries at the time who were playing in other teams, that was the generation that featured Ten Henry and co. Right. But those guys, went on to become great stars in various leagues. If a section of Stephen Appiah, we didn't see any of them, and that make me to, question, some of their a lot of things around them. Yeah. Because I saw very well how Stenabora, Ezekiel Lemu, that generation of the first batch of the Starlet team, and with the help of a Ghanaian who was coaching Togo at the time, the late Evans, the name Nkau. He suspected us of HET, and we were banned because that first generation of Starlet of Joado, who was the captain, Will Evans. Will Evans. Will Evans.
Okay, Will Evans. I heard the name.
A Ghanaian coach who was coaching, he was a former out-of-work player. He passed on in US some time ago. And that was the first. So cheating have been the bane. And I think basically, you see, me, I don't care about winning the ultimate cups and all those things. What matters to me is development. And for us to benefit well at the senior level. Because you never see, how do you call it, countries like England and Germany do so well at that level, even at the female side. And I do mention the example of Kirby Catalana at the 17 and U17 women this thing. It was with some of our players who went to Azerbaijan. Yeah. But look at how she had developed and how she has risen up. Aisatu Shwala, Ajibade Rashida. I mean, if you follow their development compared to our people, the HET is not limited to only the male side.
Let's leave it here, because if we continue, we'll not get into.
Anyway, you know where I'm going to.
Yes,
so
yes. I know where I'm going. So, but Eko, if I'll not bring Eko into this one. So let's go straight to our boxing conversation. But Jojo,
yes, sir.
It's obvious that before you can have great world champions or boxers who, at the professional level, are delivering titles, there should be a very good amateur base. You can talk about Usyk, fantastic career at amateur. We can all see him at pro in terms of the heavyweight division. Talk of Terence Crawford of this world. You can talk about the Pac-Mans. You can, in fact, any boxer. You can talk about Lomachenko. Lots of them. Bivol, all of them had great amateur careers, and it wrapped off later on in life when they went pro. But it seems these days here in Ghana, the likes of Azuma had amateur base, but these days the boxers we see fly the flag of Ghana out there. Nothing really to show when it comes to the basics, but we see them go abroad, get beaten, get pummeled, and then they come back. What has gone wrong with our amateur boxing development, and how do we fix that? Beyond fixing it, how do we get our boxers competitive to get to the level where they can win medals or they can go far in tournaments like the Olympics or the Commonwealth Games, and then when they decide to go pro, we could possibly see them deliver world titles?
Well, Raymond, Your question is very, very loaded, but I'll try to decode it and get to where you have to get to. I don't think we have failed as a country, like Senior said. We are always blessed with talents, and we have it. And you look at the fundamentals, the structures there. We have the kids that's from 12 years, and below. Then we have the juveniles, 12 to 15, right? And 17 to that 17, 18 that way. That is the youth. We have all this. Then the elite amateur. We have all of them. And like you said, all the great champions, including the credible, champions that we produced from Ghana, 7 out of the lot were all great amateur bosses. Azuma Nelson himself, well prepared from the amateur base through before becoming a professional, right? And what the amateur base do for you, your good, defensive mechanisms, footwork, your ability to jab, your body conditioning, and all those things come from what you learn from the amateur base. The great Muhammad Ali himself, he was also an amateur. For some time now, it seems things have not gone well with regards to technical direction and organization in that regard. So the current Ghana Boxing Federation, before last year, we had only coach Ofori Asari, Akanete, and Co, who were the only certified coaches. But we managed to get over 25 of them, at least to get IBA Star 1. The IBA is International Boxing Association, the body that manage amateur boxing. So it's up to 4 stars. Because the stars are 3, then we have the others 2 at Star 1 to at least have what they've learned to impart to the listener. So if I'm to respond and answer what you asked me, I don't think we've not really done bad, but compared to the past, where we were considered as the strongest amateur boxing nation in the Commonwealth, because in 1962, 1966, Ghana, won 6 gold medals in Perth, Australia, and Kissi, Jamaica, respectively, and to be emerged as the strongest amateur boxing nation in the world. When Ghana won 2 Olympic medals, as at 1964, that is 1960, Senior Clement Ikwete, 1964, Edible Senior. By that time, the likes of Kenya, Algeria, Nigeria, Uganda, and Co were yet to win a boxing medal at the Olympics. But today, they surpassed us with medals, winning golds.
And today, you can't even qualify for the Olympics.
Yeah, it's of a concern because we are not following the developmental trend. So it is as it is. And you look at successive government policies and all those things have also, helped for what we did make this thing. Nkrumah's policy was to build the sports around schools and the security services, right? And the man who came in highly intoxicated with sports as a leader of the country himself, Ignorance Kutu Achampon, also made sure he continued from that rank. So you see personnel who were even in charge of, various federations or sporting associations at the time too were great. Look at the boxing team, for example. His Excellency Amaka Matefio, he was the team manager, for the Army boxing team. Then Flight Najeji Rollins was assistant. Kenneth Sharp and Co, right? They were around there. So the national team were built around the boxing team. And those who they seem to be equally talented, either from the prison service, the other services, were occasionally roping. That was why Azuma Nelson had to join the armed forces team, to the World Military. He was a prison person, joined the military team, to go and fight at the World Military Games and won gold there. And that in itself was solid base for him to get to where he got to. It continued to the 80s and then up to a certain stage. Now, we suffered a lot of setbacks. But if you can recall, in recent times, the amateur base has not done as bad as.
But no, you said you suffered a lot of setbacks.
Yes, along the line.
What are these setbacks?
Well, setbacks in the sense that we get the talent in a way of developing them. Then along the line, quickly they switch to the professional level, not well prepared.
No, but do they switch because there's lack of opportunity here, or they don't see any direction at the amateur level?
Yeah, I would say
forces them to go up.
Yeah, I mean perhaps lack of motivation and, like you said, the direction. Because, like I mentioned earlier on, previously most of them were either in the security services, so they were earning things, they were earning something to sustain them. But along the line, it was not happening. So quickly, they have to move on to the professional level.
So it is the case that you do have the talent.
Yes.
The boxers come in.
Yes.
A tournament or two. But beyond those tournaments, there's actually nothing for them to do.
Yes.
And they have to figure out how to survive.
Yes.
And eventually they turn pro.
Yes.
Not having mastered the tricks of the trade at the amateur level. That's
I mean, basically that.
Okay.
So you look at it along the line, it was difficult to make it, though we were qualified for the Olympics in a way, but to go and make the proper mark at the Olympics until the 2008 when the Bastille brothers, you know, if you remember, and Jessimano Planche, they went as far as quarterfinals in China, Beijing. In that regard, 2012, the Dogbe generation and Drukmaika and all those guys, you saw how even they suffered, have to go around 3 times until they qualify in Azerbaijan. 2016, where we had only Abud Walid Omar, who was the only person who qualified to the Rio. Even that one was on a wild card.
Yeah.
And then 2020, where we had the qualifiers, then Samuel Techi, Suleiman Atete, and Suleiman Atete before had been with the team for
successive tournaments.
Yes, because he was part of the 2012 team. So the experience that he had there, because he's employed.
He was even the captain.
He was captain, yeah, because he was employed with the prisons team.
Okay.
So he gave him something to stay on, to survive on, just like Jesse Lati, who's also a prison officer. So you see what I'm trying to mean here.
So in a nutshell, if the GBF decides to still go ahead with recruitment and all, until some of these challenges of possibly having a way of getting them to take care of themselves is sorted out, we may have boxers come in and go out the same way they came because they are looking for greener pastures elsewhere at the pro level.
Yes.
So in this case, as GBF, what are some of the conversations you had? What are some of the proposals you've made to government with regard to making sure some of these boxers at that level are well taken care of?
Yes.
And what is government telling you?
Yes.
If you have made any such.
Yes. Yes. Of course. We've made a lot of arrangements, including a meeting with the Youth Employment Agency.
Since when?
That was somewhere in April.
No, I mean, so previous governments, you've not had any.
Previous governments, we made plans and arranged for some of them to be employed into the security services.
Did that happen?
So that yes, you know, employment in the security services also come with some level of qualification, right? But oh yes, but fortunately for us, the ladies are having that opportunity. So the new female national team is built around the army team. You go there now, we have about 5 of the solid army lady who are people we can trust that in the not near distant future, you know, carry medal prospect for the country.
How old are they?
Well, certainly I cannot look at anyone's face and determine his actual age.
But they are in the security services.
Yes. So the records. Yeah. So from what the record we have, 22, 25. You know, there are other other ones there too. But from other ones over there. I mean, we have some have off the rink. I'm going to marry, so that's a different thing, right? But we have very young ones, 22, 23, 24, in that regard, and some are even graduates from the universities who are doing boxing and they are schools. I'm talking about the females, right? So that's it. But on a larger scale, and to help solve this problem, the conversation with the Youth Employment Agency is at an advanced stage, and the ministry is helping in that regard. That subsequently, amateur boxers that are in the national team should, and then some of the coaches should be on some kind of stipends to sustain them, so that we can build on, because like Ekosini Asma has written over, and we all know the modern Olympic cycle development plan is a boxer must go through an 8-year project, starting from the 14 years as a juvenile to the youth, then get to the elite proper from 14 to the, from 14 to the age of 22 years. He should be ready for a medal in mounting the podium. Then if he can turn professional, then he turn professional. You get it? Get it. So that's the project that we have to, get them from there. So the current GBA, what we are doing is we've tried to zone the country into 5.
You mean GBF?
Yes. Yeah. For talent and education and development. And all these projects, is there pending support, that's funding, to undertake this project. We told the regions, get the best of talent, select the right ones in all the weight categories. I know Senior will not necessarily agree with me, but I think we are doing development. We are doing development, and I'll send you the world boxing criteria now. The point is, we are looking at everybody. You may never know who is a heavier weight and can deliver for Ghana at one particular time. So, in that regard, then we build a nucleus of the national team and get the best. And the best asset when? Because if you look at our recent history, from the Samontechi recent emergence, he had to challenge someone in the national team, before getting opportunity to become the hero that he is today. And subsequently went to the African Olympics qualifiers in Dakar, Senegal 2020. He beat the African champion and beat a couple of top opponents, from Zambia, Egypt, and other countries before going to the Olympics. It wasn't on silver platter. He went to the Olympics, and we all saw what he did. He even won against a professional who was fighting from Colombia. You get it. So giving the opportunity and open a platform to everyone to come and try his best, that's where. And subsequently, you saw how the emergence of Joseph Kome too. It was also through the National Individual Championship. Right? Because his brother was with the national team and unfortunately passed on. So he thought that he's coming to replace the brother. So Joseph Kome, when Techi, after the Olympic success, move on, then he's stepping. The same thing like Abraham Mensah, right? For Wahid, is an old force. So he's there. So I think we have the talent, the plan is there, and like I said, it's not only at the national team level that we need the coaches. So the training of the coaches and equipping them or getting them to be certified, now be recognized by IBA or World Boxing, is a plus for development too. What we need now is funds for high performance activities. High performance activities in the sense that when there's a major competitions and we have national team, we need to be traveling, to be giving them that exposure at all levels. So it was very positive when this youth team went to Guinea Conakry and won that gold. And I can tell you, they represent the brightest future for us. But how do we maintain them for long to be well prepared and be at the Black Bombers proper?
Right.
As it is now, if some managers, promoters are dangling things before them, their mind changes.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
But let me bring Eko into the conversation. Eko, Jojo has tried to open up the challenges with the GBF and even with the boxers.
Yeah.
You have come from places where best practices take place in terms of finding the talent, grooming the talent, getting them to perform at a certain level and all. In your own estimation, what have we missed?
It's the state commitment. And Jojo, I knew he was going to dance around it.
Okay.
I knew it. It's like he's a dancer. Yeah, he's a dancer. I mean, he would talk about what we all know already, and then dance around the real problem. And maybe in his position, it's sensitive for him to say. Yeah. But the real problem is state neglect, official state neglect. It doesn't even make sense. I mean, our helmsmen are paid by the public purse to work for us. We the people. We put them in charge. And I don't mind how much they are paid. I don't mind at all. All the helmsmen and helmswomen, even if each gets $1 billion a month, I don't mind at all. Because I think if you charge Ray to do X, Y, Z, you have to equip him with all the resources.
Right.
So he can deliver. So I really don't mind all the perks of office. But since you're getting the perks of office, why don't you work? Where are the results? Why are you not putting in the investment in a proven track record of Ghana? Boxing, 10 world champions, majority of them coming from the amateur ranks. And that has been, if you look around the world, all the world champions we have now come from countries with proven amateur record. And that's been the blueprint. It's never changed. That was the case in the case of Azumah Nelson and all before him. Well, DK Poison was not an amateur. Yeah. He was not in there. He started straight as a pro, so that's different. So really, our first example and our prime example to this date is Azumah Nelson was the first to emerge from the Black Bombers to set that standard. First Black Bomber to win the world title and stayed on as a champion for 10 years. There is a blueprint. I've been talking to a lot of people. I mean, as you may know, in the past, I was the publicist for ICOTE.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time, and I speak to him frequently. I've been around Amaka Amatefio, and he was a manager for the Black Bombers for about 9 years, and Jojo alluded to it. The blueprint has been there. Whatever the advanced countries, boxing countries are doing now, Ghana used to do. So it's there. Equip the national teams with the coaches. We know our technical men are now way up there. But, once I was speaking with Dr. Ofoyasare, he happens to be the only 3-star coach we have in Ghana now. Problem had been with quality of coaching. Now, what is so ironic is that he'd been training coaches from other countries that are now proving boxing nations, and we go to competitions, and those coaches
beat us, get their awards
to beat us because those countries have invested.
Right.
The IBA would provide a platform, a country will pay XYZ, and their instructors will come in and give the instruction. So if the country is now willing to invest, we're not going to get the dividends. It's just simple. From government to government to government to government to government, it's been official state neglect. I mean, I would say, apart from the Jerry John Rawlings time, because there was heavy investment in the amateurs. I remember 6 years ago when we were going to see Nanado to invite him to the launch of my book 6 years ago. I said, all I want is please tell him that but for the Black Bombers program, I would never have become a world champion. And I told Nanado. And Isaac Esiama was president, who was the sports minister there, that the only way Ghana could get back to getting multiple world champions at a point like the golden era of our championship during the 90s is to make sure that the boxers get the best preparation ever, especially get residential camping, not non-residential. Every time I hear the Black Bombers are doing non-residential, I know they're not going to get anywhere. Because it's not just about you. You have competition. Look, I was talking to somebody yesterday. The USA team, for 2028, is already training. They are going to tournaments. Including our own Jojo, Ghana's Jojo, Awinoja.
Yeah.
The 2028 Olympic team, the USA's 2028 Olympic team, 3 years away from now, the team is already in place, and they are doing tournament after tournament after tournament after tournament. So what do you expect? You think Ghana is going to go to the Olympic Games in 3 years and win anything? No. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So who is going to blame? You have to start from the state. The state is not interested. Not interested at all. We're not going to invest anything. You forget you. Ask Jojo. Those guys, those 3 boxers that went to Guinea to get the gold medals, have they met with anybody at the state level? Have they been given any recognition? Please, what's the answer?
I think I saw a picture of them with the sports minister, right?
What's the answer, Joe? He's here. Let me.
It has not happened yet.
Oh, okay.
It has not happened yet.
That's why I asked him.
It has not happened yet. What actually is it that the sports minister agreed, to meet them? At the time they returned, the sports minister was in the UK.
Okay.
On a different mission. And when he came, it has been very difficult to meet. And don't forget that we also have another team from the schools team that have gone to Algeria, and they've also did extremely well.
Okay.
So you see the dancing. I was telling you he's a dancer.
No, what I'm saying is that it got delayed. The week they are supposed to.
Jojo is a dancer. You see, you have to advocate fiercely for your cause, unless you don't believe in the cause. You see, the Black Queens went and got 3rd position.
Yeah.
You saw how they were received. I love it because the females have been marginalized a lot over the years. So this is very refreshing. I hope it continues forever. However, it doesn't mean boxing should continue to suffer. If you're in a house, you're a parent, you have children, and you continually neglect one, does it show you're a responsible parent? No. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. They went at short notice with no state help. Not even $1 from the state. They managed to take these boxers to Guinea with sacrifices by some of their officials, and they won gold, 3 gold. One even was overweight, actually, because at the point they were only going to be able to take only 2 boxers. So the 3rd one thought he wasn't going to go, so he stopped his training and all that and put on weight. So when at the 11th hour he was added to it, he got there and he had to fight at a heavier weight, and he still won gold. No recognition, nothing. So this is official state neglect. That's how come the Black Bombers' fortunes precipitously have slackened over the years.
Yeah, let me.
So that's just on the amateur side. Okay. And the amateur side is important because they transition to the pros.
Yeah.
So if they are half-baked, then it's going to shortchange the pros. Now, when it comes to the pros too, we have a preponderance of poor promoters with no clout to make our boxers world champions anytime soon. That's what we have now. It's a problem. I don't see our promoters at ringside at any major fight. Have you seen them?
No.
I don't see any of our promoters going to any of the conventions. You see, it doesn't just happen. Ringcraft, when they came in, starting from Ringcraft because they started with Azuma and Nelson. Since we are talking about amateur transition, Azuma started it because DK was never an amateur.
Right.
So when they came in, they had been going to the forum where DK Poison won his title. They have been frequenting there all the time. They got to know the industry players, and they had traveled extensively throughout the US. And then when they came back, they were still going and coming. They were going to all these conventions. And then you need the state to collaborate. I'll tell you what was happening at the time. Ghana's ambassador to the UN, Victor Gbeho, and then Ghana's ambassador to the U.S., Eric Otu, were heavily deployed by the state to help Raincraft to be going to these conventions and to make sure they know the Ghanaian presence was there. Heavy state backing. Otherwise, Azumah Nelson himself, for all his greatness, would never have had the chance. Don't forget, it's not like now where that we have these alphabet organizations. At the time, it was very difficult. You wouldn't get to be in there. And then if you check what he did versus Sanchez at 2 weeks' notice, he had already announced to the world, this guy is too dangerous. Because if at only 2 weeks' notice you could go toe-to-toe for 15 rounds with Salvador Sanchez, if we give you proper time to do your training camp, then you're going to beat everybody. No? And you take the title to where? Africa? No. But for Jerry John Rawlings' determination and then the clout of officials we had. Look, don't forget, we had WBC vice president coming from Ghana, being a trustee of Akotoko Academy, being also at some point heading the Ghana Boxing Authority. Look at the clout. Before him was D.F. Annan. And then Amaka Amantefi, who was also a trustee of the Akotoko Academy, becoming a sports secretary. And then the state using the Victor Beho in the U.S., him and Eriko, to going to these conventions to make the case for Azumah Nelson, just one boxer. Plus Raincraft's experience and all that. Even so, even with Don King coming on board and all that, so you see, every time you are managing, you may be a good promoter with all the good intentions. I'm setting the stage for our local promoters to understand. However good you are, I appreciate you for all that you are doing. But we don't want our amateurs with promise like Joseph Kome. What hurts me is that he might never become a world champion.
And Samuel Techi.
Yeah, Samuel Techi, at least he switched up. You see, he's now with Streetwise. In the UK, at least somehow Bediako has managed somebody to become a world champion. Yes. So there's basis for hope. What about Kome? I love him to bits. He's great. But what about promotion? Who's gonna help him elevate? If you check the examples, Raincraft, even with all their class, even with the state support and all that, they had to hook up with Duncan. Yeah. Otherwise, it would never have happened. Same with Azumah Nelson. Same with even Ikote. Yeah. They had to hook up with Duncan and then the Akaris brothers. Otherwise, it would never have happened. Even with Ikote too, he still had a lot of state support. They were camped at the Winneba College for 6 months, residential. They were going to Cuba, a noted boxing hub, a giant in the amateurs, noted for that. Frequently, what arrangement do we have with noted boxing hubs when it comes to amateur? What is the relationship between Ghana and Ukraine? Cuba, Mexico? Yeah, no, but Azerbaijan, how many world champions have they produced?
No, I'm talking amateur level now.
Yeah, but I'm saying, how many? I'm talking about transition to pro. Yes. Ukraine, Mexico, Puerto Rico, Cuba. What bilateral relations do we now have? So this is at the state level. We should be having that and be able to afford our boxers the opportunity to go and train for months, even if we can't house them here. Right. So you still have to come back to the state. The promoters, the local promoters are doing their best, but they don't have the clout to compete against the competition. They don't have enough funds to be going to all these conventions. They don't. Yeah. So how would your boxers be rated? Top 10. So you get a chance at the crack of the... Even now, it's even easier now because of the alphabet organizations. Yeah. But because our local promoters are not equipped, they need a lot of help from the state. Right. In the past, at least they could even get a letter to help them defray some of their costs, with some state funding. It's not happening. What is ironic is that this government has just stepped in the door. So it needs some time to balance. Plus, there are heavy expectations on the state, this particular government, to qualify for the World Cup. Yeah. So I understand. And next month is the World Cup. So maybe the attention is not there. It's focused on qualifying for the World Cup, because for Ghana, qualifying for the World Cup will ease a lot of the burden of the government. But still, the state, when I'm talking about the state, I'm not talking about the presidency. That's just the executive. What about parliament? We have a so-called committee on sports. Yeah. What is their involvement in promoting boxing? They live in the capital here. They work in the capital. Accra happens to be Wow, Bukom is the spiritual home of boxing in Ghana.
Yeah.
What is their contribution, the Parliamentary Select Committee on Sports? What is their contribution to boxing? When Black Stars are playing, you see them in jerseys, Black Stars jerseys. How many of them have ever been inside a gym? You see, so the problems we have are stateside, not just the executive, even the parliamentarians, they don't care about boxing.
Right.
And yet they're in Accra, the center of the universe of boxing in this country. They don't even go to any of the gyms. They don't even know one gym. So this is the problem. The problem is official state neglect. Right. Until that is fixed, we continue to have dwindling fortunes in boxing. Unfortunately, which hurts me a lot. And we in the media too, I think we also have to play a greater role, because we're now getting boxing on the airwaves. You guys are number one. Between yesterday and today, back-to-back boxing on the airwaves. It's a big deal. I appreciate it big time. Yeah. But if you compare with the other media organizations, you don't get the airtime, because most of them too, per the media institutions of training, they don't have lecturers teaching boxing. That's true. So they graduate, they only know football. They go to organizations who also have had a series of graduates who only know football. So you can't really blame them much. But still, it's our job as media folk to push the agenda to bring boxing back to the apex.
Right. You're still live on Sporty Breakfast, live on Sporty 106.1 FM in Accra, 102.5 in Takoradi, and 91.3 in Kumasi. Nathan Kwa will be joining us in the next 7 minutes with Inside French Football. So quickly, we'll have to wrap up the Sporty Breakfast. But Jojo, your final words. ECO has raised lots of issues. Has pinpointed government's lack of interest in boxing. Would you agree with him?
Oh, to a larger extent. If I show you, I think you have that picture. When the Black Bombers 2020 Olympics qualifiers in Dakar, Senegal, got stranded at the airport. And they had to take the intervention of people back to transfer money, for them to get a place to stay and all those things. I mean, the national team, which produces, how do you call it, all the boxers that we need for national team activities, is the state destiny, and we cannot continue like that. So we've met the sports minister, share our concern with him. So it's all about engagement, and I think the advocacy must continue. The immediate major competition that we have, though the youth competition, the participation in the African Youth Championship is already over. The next is the Commonwealth Games. That's next year, and they must have a solid preparation. Both non-residential, residential.
No, don't bring the non-residential.
No, what I'm saying.
You see, yeah.
No, let me come.
No, you have to be serious.
Go.
No, don't bring this non-residential. Those countries that are winning don't do non-residential.
Yes, but
so that's a loser's blueprint.
Yes, so you see that the numbers for the non-residential, when you put it down and you get it, then perhaps a training tour or something. So those things are in place. For the talent, we do have. But before then, we need to do a proper national individual championship to select a team. And all these things is our funding. Right. That's why it's all about the state.
So would
the national team, why is the state not funding it?
Yeah, so that's
deliberate. It's deliberate.
Yes, because you go there
not a chance. It's deliberate official state neglect of boxing.
Yes.
Let me say a big thank you.
And it must be condemned in no uncertain terms.
Let me say a big thank you to Eko Asma for joining us on the show this morning. Let me say a big thank you to you, Jojo. I've seen Eko Asma is a seasoned senior sports journalist, and he's also a writer. He's an author of several books, including celebrating our world champions. He has how many volumes of that do you have?
3.
Yes.
There's another one in the offing. Yes. Actually, I'll be speaking with Boss Gary pretty shortly about it.
That's right. So he is a prolific writer, and I've Jojo Efson. He's a historian. Yes, I've added that one to his CV. He's a historian and he's a communications director of the Ghana Boxing Federation. A big thank you to you, gentlemen, for joining us on the show this morning. Right. This is where we draw the curtain down on today's edition of Sporty Breakfast. My name is Raymond Yamado. Started the show with Nathan Kwa, who will be joining us in the next 5 minutes with Inside French Football. Let me say a big thank you to the entire production team: Fidelis, Flyboy, Emmanuel Ayamga, Immortal Ijakwe Champo, and to Gary Smith, our team lead. Keep listening to Sporty 106.1 FM. Programming continues right here, and in the next 5 minutes, Nathan Kwa will join you with Inside French Football. At 12, we bring you the news. At 12:30, Nana Kwamilabi would bring you Sporty Plug together with Immortal and Eustace. At 4 p.m., we come your way with Sporty Drive. At 7, you have European Nights with Kosifiaka and the team. And at 10, you have Ball Up Top with Winston Michael. A big thank you to you for joining us today. Keep listening to Sporty 106.1 FM. We are the voice of sport.